passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SacktownSports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Well, Drape's just getting situated here, and I guess you can't really blame him. He probably, in a way, is putting off, discussing what went down last night. Another tough one for the Kings, as the Spurs just spanked them, as you know, 116 to 96. Kings scoring only 41 points in the second half. Drapes, after that, nice big win, come from behind, exciting win over the Suns last night was, let's face it, a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, it was. It was. And I'm trying to reconcile what happened last night, Whitey. I'm down there in San Francisco doing the pre and post game show. Got about a 2-hour drive home to really just marinate on what I saw. And of course, we can talk about the threes and Wembanyama going crazy and the Spurs hitting every three, it seemed like. But I was concerned about the offense. And we could look at the numbers, and I'm sure we'll dig into that. But even just the look, it didn't look like a Sacramento Kings offense to me. And I turned to Chelsea and Morgan, and I think the Kings made 39 field goals, but only had 18 assists.
Yep.
Too much one-on-one, too much ISO. And of course, if you make some more shots, maybe that goes up. But that's not Kings basketball. And I'm not saying this is a problem or a trend that we've seen. But last night, and Mike didn't mention it, but from my vantage point, I thought the ball stuck too much. I didn't think, the 0.5 rule wasn't in effect. Obviously, guys didn't make shots. And then when they did have open looks, I felt like they passed up some shots, and that's something Mike Brown talked about. With that being said, Whitey, let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Because coming out flat, that happens sometimes. Now you're not going to be geeked up all 82.
Especially second of a back-to-back.
Second, it happens. Would you be, and I'm just asking, would you feel better today if it was against, let's say, Boston or OKC, like a great team, but because it was against San Antonio, a team we're supposed to be, does it feel worse today?
Yes, it does. Also, not only is it a team they're supposed to be better at than, it's a team that's a younger team in your division that, just speaking for myself, I thought that for this year anyway, we'd still be looking down at that.
Yeah.
And probably they still will be, or, you
hopefully
figure they will be,
in it.
But that was a little unsettling.
How about this? Right now, the Spurs are only a game behind you. Yeah. They're 5-6.
Uh-huh.
And so.
And that's playing with energy.
Yeah. And as I'm looking at that team, I actually felt like, you know what? They actually got some NBA players now. Mm-hmm. Last few years, they had Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Sohan, but then, guys that. But now with CP3, Vassell back last night. Keldon Johnson.
Those guys are coming off the bench.
And those two are coming off the bench. Exactly. Then you throw in Harrison Barnes, who had 10 points. Throw in Victor Wembanyama. They're actually a better team now. And so I didn't get the feeling that we took them lightly or anything like that. I just felt like we didn't have it last night. And they did.
I remember talking to you last week about Wemby and how he's been taking so many threes. Man, he's got range, right?
Yeah, as soon as he gets off across half court.
Yeah.
I mean, that
guy.
Got
one fly from Corpus Christi.
Right. You can't be doing that now. That's my line.
That's
homage. Is that what?
Yes. I do that to you because that's your thing.
All right. Okay. No, I mean, because when we talked about it, usually I'm like, let him have that. That's what we want.
Uh-huh.
But he's actually more dangerous and seems more comfortable behind the 3-point line than around the, in the paint area. Mm-hmm. And so he was on one, and it's 2 straight great games for him. But that's one thing, Whitey. Defensively, sure, they shot a high percentage. Sure, we gave up threes. But when you look at the final score, 116 is not a lot. And some of it came late. I remember looking up, and at one point, we had like 80-something points, midway through the fourth or whatever it was. And I'm like, you're not going to win against anybody like that.
41 points in the second half for the Kings.
Damn. In that third quarter. Yeah, exactly. How many did we have in the third? I know you got the box
16.
Damn. See, we can harp on the defense all we want. But that offense was bad yesterday.
Well, I'm trying to think if there's a basketball equivalent to the old baseball superstition of, a team's not hitting, let's just burn all our bats.
Right.
Because clearly they're pressing. Clearly it's something that's on the mind of everyone. The fact that they just are not making threes. They're not that bad of a three-point shooting team. Now they're worst in the league statistically, and it's clear to me they're starting to press a little bit. Something has to be done about that. I have no idea what. Maybe just acknowledging it, something they have to do on their own. And, hey, guys, just, I'm sure Mike Brown tells them all the time, let it fly. But it's become a problem.
Yeah. And how about Keegan Murray shooting the air ball from the side? I'm like, when does that ever happen? And so you see it almost, you can see the guys thinking about it out there, especially when I watch Keegan. And, Mike Brown's, recipe is to work harder. It might be a situation where I'm going to give y'all the day off, get away from basketball for a day or so. Go fishing, go kart race, whatever it may be, because clearly this is not only a 1 game, this is an 11-game problem. Out of the 11 games, they've been outshot from 3-point range 9 times. The opponent has made more threes in the game 9 times against the Kings. That's not our game. That's not, and we talked last week, and I said, you know what? Maybe our offense now is being elite at 2. Well, when you are elite at 2, you can get away with it. We weren't elite at anything last night.
Let's see here. Tell me if my math is off here. I think it's right. 3 is more than 2.
Yes.
But 2 is more than none.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
That's true. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So what you got, the saying is, if you shoot 50% from 2, that's roughly 33%. We're not even hitting 33. So we got to hit 65, 70% from 2 to just make it even. And let me ask you this, though, because I think you mentioned it yesterday. Do we start turning down 3-pointers?
Sounds like
they're
that's
good looks.
No matter what I say, it sounds like, I think this is the point you're making. Mike Brown says we can't pass up open shots.
Right. Yeah, I think so. That's the game. They work on 3-point shooting. We've seen guys shoot at a higher level, and the hope is that, eventually that they'll get back to their averages. But the problem with that, and over the course of the season, maybe so, the problem with that is twofold, Whitey. One, it's the Western Conference. And, you got to go 10 more games like this. You might be, way back in the standings there, 12th in the standings. But 2, and I've seen it happen time and time again for 1 game. If you rely on too many threes and you have an off night, like we saw last night, you're going to lose. What's our backup plan?
Well, that's what's so frustrating, because that's one of the things DeMar DeRozan was going to supply. And you do have now another gear. If the threes aren't falling, then you go to your other gear, which they've been doing in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But the thing is, none of the threes are falling at all.
Their
whole offense is starting to unravel.
And here's the thing. We've seen the Kings under Mike Brown the last couple of years. When the 3 is flowing, when it's hitting, it opens up so much.
When the 3 is flowing, the offense is going.
Man, you're pretty good at stuff like that, man. You're pretty Johnny on the spot, right?
It writes itself.
But yeah, it's and so we haven't even seen the best of this Kings offense. And then last night, I kept waiting. Somebody get hot. Keegan, Kevin Huerter, and it just never came. Trey Lyles had 1, 2, I think it was, but it never really came. And so usually, Whitey, you don't see an entire team struggle from 3, but that's what we're seeing right now. Everybody is struggling from 3.
30.1%, I believe, is where they are right now. That is, according to Basketball Reference, 30th in the league, right behind Portland at 30.2%. So that's right now. That's their biggest priority, is figure out, what do you do about that? Sounds like right now, at least publicly, the plan is you got to keep firing. But I'm just saying, at this point, I know it's early. You're 11 games in and you can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying get rid of everybody, but it at least has to be acknowledged or something.
Yeah, but let me ask you this, though. We got Doug McDermott. Even he can't shoot. So what are we supposed? What's Monty, Mike? Right. That's when you know it's bad. It's like all of a sudden Doug McDermott can't shoot. And so you gotta. I think you got to stick with it. You know, we've seen Keegan hit better. We've seen everybody hit better. They just psychologically got to get out of their heads, Whitey. That's what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, and then you also got the fact that Malik's not available for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So, you know, that puts more pressure on the bench, which already hadn't been playing that well. So, challenging couple of games ahead here with Phoenix and Minnesota.
Right. I mean, you got to get at least one of these games because, I mean, then you got Utah and Atlanta, and so hopefully you can right the ship. But, you know, it's crazy how the psychology of a Kings fan right now. This time yesterday, Whitey, everybody was geeked up. We beat the Suns overtime. Now it's like, we got some real problems. Which is it? Can it be somewhere in the middle? Like it's not as bad as last night, and maybe it's not as good as it was to finish out the game the other night.
We'll know more after tomorrow. Now, I know the answer to this question, but I just like to ask it because I love the way Drapes answers. Drapes, do you have any Drapes takes coming up?
Come on, man. As my guy Amadrock would say, I'm just here waiting for Drapes takes. Of course it's Drapes, especially after a loss. You know it's going to be Drapes take, big fella.
And we've got that next for you on Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
What sets Ashton & Price apart from other injury law firms? I'll tell you. From beginning to end, all important legal decisions are made directly between our clients and their experienced local attorney. A gate agent flying the plane, the receptionist performing surgery, not a chance. There's simply no substitute for the unique power of the direct attorney-client relationship offered by Ashton & Price. And there's never a fee until we win, and between you and me, we win a lot.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
It's time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
As you said, Drapes, you got some fans who are just feeling unsettled and unsure of things. Drapes take coming right up. Ryan Cardicelli says, okay, guys, I've been very positive, but this team is scaring me this year. Not so sure Kings will do much better than 8th or 10th place in the West.
Who's saying that? Ryan Williams?
No, that's Ryan Cardicelli.
He's not negative normally, right? He's normally Mr. Positive, right? But now even he's going negative on us. He jumping off the ship.
Yeah. Farmer Bleezy 22. What kind of voodoo or Santeria are we doing so the Kings can start making threes again? That's it. It's going to take some sort of, I don't know, ceremony or something.
Right? They got to get the sage out.
Yeah.
You know, it's I don't know what they got to do, but, you know, get rid of all the basketballs that they're practicing with, bring in some new basketball, something. They got to be better shooting a three.
The only guy who did anything shooting threes last night is the guy with ligament damage in his hand.
Right. Our boy De'Aaron Fox. Yeah. 40% last night. And he had a solid game too, man. It's but I'm looking at everybody else. I guess DeMar DeRozan was one for one. Yeah,
that's solid. It is.
Why you give him
it is. Well, I mean,
it is, right?
Yeah.
He understood maybe the threes weren't falling for everybody, so I'm a be elite at the 2-point range last night.
But those are the only two. By the way, the only two that shot free throws last night for the Kings.
Yeah, a low free throw game. Spurs only shot 8 as a team. Yeah. We only shot 9. Yeah, it was just a ugly game. Not great officiated. And the fact, like you said, we scored 41 points in the second half. That's not going to get it done.
Right now, it's time for Drapes Takes.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
I'm going to be honest, Kings fans. Normally, I'm the guy that talks you down off the ledge, saying you got to take it easy. It's just one game. It's one of 82. But it's hard for me to do that right now because what I saw from the Sacramento Kings, we've lost games before, Whitey, going into last night. We've lost 4 games. But this was the first time I felt we weren't even in the game. And I understand, at the half, what were we down? 5 at the half, 60 to 55, and we're right there. But even the eye test in that first half didn't feel good. The way Chris Paul ended that first half, the big bucket late, that sort of just zapped all momentum I felt. Let me get to my take about last night. And I can't start positive, ladies and gentlemen. I can't do that. Not after a loss. I can't.
And you're a positive guy.
I'm a positive guy, but I can't paint a rosy picture. We missed Malik Monk. We understood that. But we got to get more from our bench. Monty needs to make some sort of move to bolster our depth. I know Devin Carter was cleared for some, full shooting and everything like that. But I don't know if he's the magic pill. And we can't wait that long. I don't know if it's a free agent that's out there. Go get me Lonnie Walker or somebody like that. We need some help off the bench scoring-wise. Because how about this? With Malik gone, who are we looking at for scoring off the bench on a regular basis? We're not asking Keon to come in and get 15 to 20,
you're
right?
Open Trey knocks a few down, and like we said yesterday, Dougie McDermott.
That's asking a lot.
Yes.
That's asking a lot. I'm with you. Yes, I would like to see. But how about this? Mike got to start trusting the bench a little more. I thought Jordan McLaughlin played a hell of a first half, Whitey. Mm-hmm. He played 6+ minutes in the first half. Second half, he played garbage time minutes.
At this point, Mike Brown really has no choice. You're right.
Right.
You have to.
Jordan hit a 3, if I'm correct, last night. Mm-hmm. He's one of the few guys that actually knocked down the 3. So I would like to see him more in the rotation. And don't pull out the box score people and say, well, Jordan was a -14. Man, Jordan in that first half, he was balling. He had a nice little steal, good defensive play,
De'Aaron
knocked
Fox
down the 3.
21. Did he have a bad game?
Exactly.
No.
That's what I'm talking about. You can't look at. So I would like to see Mike turn to the bench, especially without Malik. Don't just do it in the first half. Let me see Jordan in the second half. Let me see Doug in the second half. And one of the problems we're having with the bench right now is there's no flow to it. Outside of Trey and Keon, those are the only 2, and then Malik when he's healthy, that we know will play every night. So what we're asking is, shoot, Doug, you haven't played in 2 or 3 games. Come on in and hit 5 threes for us.
Or hit the next 3 shots.
Right,
Go.
exactly. Or Jordan, I know I haven't used you the last 4 games, but come save us right now. And it's hard for a player. So it may take, lowering some of our starters' minutes, something like that. But we got to prepare this bench to be ready when a guy like Malik Monk is out.
I think that's one of the things we saw last night is the starters' minutes have been so heavy, and I get that.
Yeah.
But then you have the second game of a back-to-back, and they don't have as much juice left.
Yes, exactly. And that brings me to my second take. We are not good enough to have Kevin Huerter and Keegan Murray go, 3 of 14, I think it was? Yeah, 3 of 14 last night, combined 7 points.
1 of 10 beyond the arc.
1 of 10 beyond. I don't care who you are. When 2 of your main starter scoring options gives you 7 points, we got to do better. Like those guys, and I understand second night of a back-to-back. I understand maybe they were just off. But going forward, we can't have games like this again with those 2 guys.
One of them has a bad night, it's going to happen.
Okay, right.
Both of them do. You're in trouble.
Right, because DeMar, DeMontis, and De'Aaron each had 20+. But where's the other scoring? Mm-hmm. We're not deep enough to have those 2 guys, 2 key members of our offense, struggle from behind the arc and struggle scoring the basketball.
Yeah, and struggle they did, and so frustrating because Huerter had just had a good shooting night against Phoenix.
Yes, exactly. He was outside the first game, and then last night Huerter's been phenomenal. Mm-hmm. He's been great, but it was just one of those off nights. My third take, and this is something I was thinking about while watching the game, and I would love to hear your opinion on this, Whitey. Mike's my guy. Jay Triano's my guy. But is this offense the right offense for our team? We're a quick read and react offense, but I don't see guys being quick and read and reacting. It's like I'm watching the offense. Guys are standing around. Guys are cutting to the same spot. Guys are running into each other. Maybe it takes more time. Maybe it takes familiarity. But I thought last night offensively, we could talk about the shooting numbers, but even just the cutting, moving, spacing, I thought was off last night.
I think there are times this year when the offense has been at its best when they have not been doing that.
Right. That's the thing. That's what's so scary about it. You know, I'm looking at Domas hold on the ball, waiting for somebody to cut or two guys cutting to the same spot. And I'm like, that's not how it's been in the practices, Whitey. I've seen what they're trying to do.
You've run practices.
I've been run out of practices, but I don't know about. But it seems like the guys aren't grasping, and it's a hard offense to run. Let's be honest. The easiest thing to do is to stand in the corner. The hardest thing is cut and run and keep moving. That's why the Warriors were so great in their days. They were able to like step and
player movement,
ball movement. Right now, we didn't have any last night. You know, and I go back to the assist numbers, 19 or 18 assists on 39 made field goals. That's an under 50% assist rate. That's not getting it done for Sacramento. Lastly, I'm going to address the defense. And it happens time and time and time again. Katie brought it up yesterday. I'm going to bring it up one more time. We need to come out and set the tone defensively because the NBA, these players are too good to let them get hot early and then expect, all right, it's fourth quarter, now let's shut them down. Third quarter, no. Those guys, I'm watching Devin Vassell come off the bench, 3 threes. He had back-to-back, I think, because he was feeling good. He was feeling comfortable. We got to cut the water off early on. And so I feel like at times we're our offense is dictating our defense instead of the other way around.
Yeah, they give up a lot of threes. I think a lot of that is by design. And when guys are knocking them down, you're going to pay for that. And I think that's kind of the way their defense is set up.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, when you look at it, they're getting a lot of steals. Mm-hmm. They're getting a lot of deflections. But is that coming at the expense of leaving guys wide open? Mm-hmm. Are you over-helping, looking for the steal and deflection? Good team reverses the ball, and now they have a wide open three.
Yeah.
So do you need to be more sound defensively, going with a base defense instead of always going for the gamble and the deflection?
Yeah. I think sometimes they want to pack the paint because, among other things, they're trying to protect Domas from as much foul trouble as they can. You know, they don't like guys just
getting right down the lane. Yeah,
you might pack the paint, and then you got shooters out there.
And then today's NBA, you know, Sandro Mamakudalishvili.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes, sir.
That dude, he looked like prime Larry Bird there. He looked like Chris Mullin with that lefty stroke sometimes. Too many guys in the NBA can shoot right now, which brings me to my last point, Whitey. We're not getting enough transition buckets. I feel like time and time again, we're getting out fast break, if you will.
For a team that pushes pace, they don't go very fast.
And there were a few times I'm watching the game and we get a stop and guys are like, all right, slow it up. And I'm like, no, go.
Turn on the Jets.
And I know it's something Mike preaches. I know it's something Jay preaches. But this has to be ingrained in our guys. Like, we got to get up and down a little bit more and get some more. We have 14 fast break points on 5 of 7 shooting.
They have
21 on 8. How are the Spurs with old-ass Chris Paul out there, old man River, Harrison Barnes getting more fast break points than us? And how about this, Whitey? They had 18 turnovers. I'm talking about the Spurs. We should have been able to gash them in transition. We got to do a better job of that.
Yeah. A lot of it comes down to not when the ball's not going in, everything else gets done.
Yes, right. Like I said, the offense, you know, sort of dictates everything they have. All right, Kyle, that is Drape's Takes. Is brought to you by
Alsco Uniforms. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms.
Thank you very much, Kyle Ledbetter. And Jay should be back with us tomorrow. Yesterday, Drapes, you know, I ran down the wish list, and it's so frustrating because a couple of things I wished for happened.
Okay.
Yeah, one of them was, you know, defend without fouling. And like you said, there were not a lot of free throws. The Kings committed 14 fouls last night.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
Take care of the ball. Protect the pumpkin. 11 turnovers for the Kings last night. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But then I also was, trying to get them either make your threes or don't take as many. And obviously that's just where they're getting destroyed right now, giving up so many threes and then just not converting to the extent that it's throwing the whole offense into the toilet.
All right, Coach Gleason, what would you do, big fella?
I'm telling you, I told you I would have some sort of bonfire,
seance,
some sort of ceremony,
right?
Yeah.
Somebody sacrifice something, like just
burn all the basketballs.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, 38 threes, really attempts. That's not really a whole lot in the whole scheme of the NBA,
right?
38 is kind of where you want this team to be at, but they just aren't hitting.
It's
right
a lot
now.
when you're only making 10.
Right,
yeah.
right. Think about this.
And Keegan's the one that, to me, you could just almost see him thinking about it.
How about Keegan, Kevin, and Doug McDermott? Probably our best three shooters. A combined what, Whitey? 2 of 15.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You can't win that way.
Right.
You can't win.
Yeah.
And think about it. The Spurs hit 22. So you're getting outscored by 36 points just from 3-point range. You're not getting to the free throw line. You can't miss from 2-point if you're trying to win a game.
It's bizarre. We had just been talking last week about how Wemby was shooting. He was under 30%.
Yeah, he was.
And last night, from 27.
Whoop.
Bang.
Victor Wembanyama. Can we give him some love real quick? 34 points, 14 boards, 6 assists, 3 block shots.
The best play he made last night was when, I think it was the first quarter, and Domas puts him in the blender and turns him around, and he just does a 360 and goes up and blocks it.
It's not fair, man. It's not fair. And I actually, on that play, thought Domas could have finished quicker. Like, he did one too many moves, and Wemby is so good. Like, De'Aaron Fox one time over-penetrated, tried to challenge Wemby, and he just swallowed it up. That dude's a human cheat code, and so it's it's a tough one, man. And like I said before, it feels worse because it's against the damn San Antonio Spurs.
Yes. When we come back, we'll look at why and how the Kings have hit 3-point rock bottom with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
DC here, and if you've been thinking about a new car, you gotta see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia. You can always count on low payments and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score buy one, get one free fries from McDonald's, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on pizza, burgers, tacos, and more all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms, taxes, and fees apply. See app for details.
Mira, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
When you're hiring, ZipRecruiter's technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. What if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Cool weather, if not cold weather, is in our future. You know that. It'll eventually get there, and American Energy wants to make sure your system is operating safely and properly. So now is the time to take advantage of the $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, but includes a full safety and duct inspection. And if your system's over 10 years old, it's free. The tune-up is on American Energy. Give them a call right now. They're offering $50 off your first recommended repair, or if you need a new furnace, that's half off the price of a new unit. American Energy been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote. That's theaeway.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Tom's Watch Bar, your ultimate sports watching destination for all Kings games, hosted live by Sacktown Sports. With 360-degree viewing, surround sound, premium food and drink, and game day vibes that match being at the game, Tom's Watch Bar is the ultimate game day experience for all Sacramento Kings fans. Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sacktown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting sacktownsports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Some of the smartest viewers and listeners and radio drapes looking for answers. For example, here, Bobby Hill says they play a weird zone sometimes, then do unnecessary double teams when it leaves people wide open. Banta the Young says the bench needs to focus on adapting plays, not just free-form improv jazz basketball. Ryan Williams Art, are we saying the Kings are fast broke? So,
these guys, man. Everybody got to be a comedian these days, man.
That is a pretty good one.
That's a good one.
I don't want to give any credit. That's pretty good. I don't think I've ever heard that one.
No, a fast broke. Okay.
Yeah. So people are just trying to figure out. Oh, and Amadrock from Vallejo. Great drapes takes 100% agree.
Yeah, my guy. I don't know, man. I don't know how to fix it. Is it just time? Is it familiarity with each other?
Well, let's back up to one thing you said in there, which I 100% agree with.
Okay.
Which is that you look at this roster, they need help.
They need help.
Right?
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that.
I think so. I mean, even if we get some start, Trey starts playing well. Like, the problem is, and we had this issue last year, Whitey. Mike only, is confidence in 7 guys. Like our boy Alex Lim didn't play at all basically until garbage minutes. That's surprising when you got a big Victor Wembanyama out there, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, we're bringing in players that aren't seeing the floor. Like, we were excited about our boy Jordan McLaughlin. Haven't seen him. Mason Jones ain't cracking the rotation at all. I know he's a two-way guy and all that, but he's not getting any minutes. We even talked about Isaac Jones. Remember in the preseason? Oh, man, maybe they could he doesn't play. And so it's like a 7-man rotation now, especially with Malik out, that Mike, really leans heavily on. And our margin for error isn't that great right now.
Yeah, and the guys coming off the bench, their margin for error is practically nil. Because if they make a mistake, you got a coach who, and I understand where he's coming from, but they don't have a ton of faith. He doesn't have a ton of faith in the guys coming off the bench. So if a guy makes a bad play or just misses a couple shots, like, you're done, right?
Yeah. And
you have to be perfect to even get a chance to keep playing.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm looking at some of the numbers, and I mentioned it during Drape's takes. Our boy Jordan McLaughlin, in that first half, Whitey, and maybe they are looking at plus minus and making decisions, but he was 2 of 3. He's a -8, yes, but that's not, we know that's too small of a sample size to blame him.
Because the team was -5. I mean,
right, the team was -5. So, I mean, he was 2 of 3, had a steal, played 6 minutes and change, 6 minutes and 26 seconds. In the second half, Jordan McLaughlin played 2 minutes and 33 seconds. And most of that came all of it came at the very end. It's like, especially if Herter doesn't have it going, Keegan doesn't have it, like, turn to some other guys.
Yeah, pardon me. I would think he would get a lot of Malik's minutes because Malik, when he comes in, a lot of times he's running the offense. And that's what Jordan McLaughlin does.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know he's not the same player, and I know he's not as dynamic as Malik, but he can run an offense and he can make a jump shot.
Yeah, and this is what I worry about. And we saw this last year with Sasha and Chris Duarte. We know athletes are rhythm people. We know they like to know their role. They like to know when they're checking in. And I don't want a Doug McDermott or a Jordan McLaughlin or somebody like that to start second guessing themselves. Their confidence start to waver. Like, let's let we should be going this early in it. We should be going 10 deep. No doubt about it. We should be going 10 deep. And throw Malik out there. So Keon, Trey, and Malik, those are 3 for sure. But Doug, Jordan, maybe Alex Len, we should be going 10 deep. And I just feel like we're bringing guys in and they aren't getting maybe the opportunity that they expected. I know Chris last year, Sasha, it was a wake-up call for those guys.
Gracie Approve asks, is Mike Brown's lack of confidence in the bench because of stuff we're not seeing in practice? Maybe. Don't you think with Mike, typically it starts with dissatisfaction with somebody defensively?
Right.
I mean, to me, I think that's probably at the top of his list. But that's a great point. There could be things going on. We see a guy in a game is like, he was okay, and we don't know if a guy's really struggled in practice or he's not even doing picking up the things he's supposed to pick up. It's a good point. We don't know, though.
Yeah, we don't know. And I'm going to go back to the 48-win season, Mike Brown's first season, because I wanted to see what was the rotations like. What were the minutes like? So we had Domas, Fox, HB, Keegan, and Kevin Herter. Those guys, the starters, they were, doing fine minutes-wise. Then you had Malik at 22, Davion at 18, Trey at 17, Kessler Edwards at 14, Terrence Davis at 13, and Chemezi Metu at 10. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 11 guys averaging double-figure minutes. Okay, can I go to this season?
Yes.
I don't know the numbers. I'm just looking at these as like everybody else is right now.
Don't forget, we also had those key Delhi minutes that year too.
Oh yeah, Delhi
Delhi
played
minutes.
some important minutes. This year, I said we had 11. This year, we got 8 guys averaging double-figure minutes. Damn.
And there's a big disparity, right?
Big disparity.
Maybe bigger than it was a couple years ago.
38 for DeMar, 37 De'Aaron, 37 Keegan. Domas a shade under 37.
I'm going to take the coach's side on this.
Yep.
If I'm the coach and you see how these guys are playing and you see how DeMar's playing and Domas is playing and De'Aaron's playing, what am I supposed to do? Put guys in there that aren't playing well? Right?
I think
I'm trying to win games.
You're trying to win games, but I think you got to look at the bigger picture. This is not sustainable. DeMar DeRozan at 39 minutes, and I know he's one of the leading minutes guys. Yeah, I understand that, but damn, dude's what, 35? Like, 16th year in the league? Like, we shouldn't have to lean on him so much. And if we are playing our guys that much, that just tells me, like we just talked about, Whitey, we need more help.
Mm-hmm.
We need more help from these guys. Mm-hmm. Let me. Who else should I look up? I could look at Oklahoma City. Nah, they're one of the deeper teams. I'm gonna look at Boston just because I always like to.
Don't look at your favorite Warriors because they're playing like
they're playing like 13 guys,
yeah.
right? They're playing like so many guys, but it's I talked about it before. Monty thought this was depth was a strength of our team. It hasn't shown that way right now.
No,
which is frustrating. And we even talked about our guard depth being great. It doesn't look like it right now. We got one guard coming off the bench, Keon Ellis, with Malik out.
Yeah.
Like Jordan McLaughlin can't get any burn. And so, wow, Celtics right now got 11 guys averaging double figures minutes.
How about my guy, Peyton Pritchard? Where's he?
That's stiff. 28 minutes a game.
Woo,
dude, he's probably front runner for 6th man of the year, too. 16 points per game.
Look at that.
I know.
He's
proving me wrong, man. 43% from 3. Dude, he's taking 9 threes a game off the bench, Whitey.
Wow.
Off the bench, he's taking 9 threes a game.
I think somebody owes him an apology.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Right. President of the Peyton Pritchard fan club over here. But, yeah, we got to lean in on the bench a little more. Or, like we said, go out there and improve the bench.
Yeah. I think just about anybody who's taken a clinical eye, a clinical look at this roster for weeks and weeks and weeks, months even, has looked at it and said, yeah, you might need to shore that up a little bit. And I know it's not easy to do, and you just don't want to go out and get somebody just to get somebody. But it's a little frustrating.
Yeah.
To still be looking at this going, they need some help when we've been saying that for a long time.
Right. And I got my faith in Monty and Wes and those guys because they see the same things we see, right? They can't be oblivious to the fact, like, man, we're not getting much from the bench right now.
Yeah. Steve E. asks, even if we get help, will Mike Brown even play the whoever you get? That's the real question.
I wonder what the machinations are behind the scenes.
Great word.
Like, I know.
Great word.
I just wanted to say that one today, machination. But like, how much is Mike involved in the personnel decision? Or is it, here's who we got, Mike, figure it out, make it work? Or, and I don't know, I'm legitimately asking this, or is it Mike saying, yeah, I like that guy too. I can see how I could use him and fit him in. And then when they get here, it's like, well, maybe he's not all I thought. But I'll tell you what, I go back to the guy I brought up yesterday with you and Jay, John Collins. He's an every night guy. Sure, the analytics might say what it is, the contract, but John Collins is going to get you 10 to 15 points, mark it down every single night.
Is John Collins somebody the Kings should be pursuing? We'll talk about that when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
It's time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it up.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the things that just will never come out.
Oh, Downy in the rinse shade.
Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BC. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
When it's all on the line, you need a big-time closer. That's especially true when it comes to your garage door. That's why I proudly recommend National Garage Door. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. And whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE broken spring experts, and the styles, prices, and quality of the new doors will amaze you. I know they amazed me. Our garage door was starting to sound kind of like a box of scrap metal tumbling down the stairs. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said patching up the old one was an option, but we're going with a new garage door, and we're as excited about that as you can be about a new garage door. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 338-4554 National Garage Door.
Mita Chevy saves you $8,000 off MSRP on every new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock after rebates. All of them.
Black Friday savings now at MetaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. Ends 12/1/24.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Getting under the hood a little bit today and trying to figure out, where can we tinker here? Is it just a matter of, the battery terminals need to be cleaned off? Are we going to have to call AAA and get a new battery, Drapes? That's kind of where we are with this Kings thing right now.
Just a little jump. That's all we need.
Is that
just
all we
a little
need?
jump.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
just, 1 or 2 games where the threes are clicking and we'll be feeling all good.
Make
We'll
sure
be
all
okay.
the hoses are connected.
Yeah. Real quick, Whitey. I wish we would have won last night because we had a great win against Phoenix, and that's forgotten. We didn't have time to dissect that, dive into that.
Yeah.
Because of the loss last night. It's like, damn, we should have just won last night.
And then yesterday we had a shorter show, and we had to talk about the 49ers too.
Yeah.
And now here we are with a long time to talk about.
What, we got 4 hours today?
3.
I don't know. Let's just talk about the Suns game. How about that?
Right.
You want to just talk about
just
the
talk
overtime?
about that game.
Yeah. Plus, we got the in-season tournament tipping off tonight.
Yeah. Are you excited about that? I don't even know.
Working on it.
Who's in our group? I don't even know. I got to look that up.
Portland, Minnesota,
Clippers, and the Rockets.
And the Rockets. All right, Kyle, you on top of that.
It's Group A, isn't it? I think it's Group A.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm on the call. I'm on the call tomorrow for that one.
Tonight
Or
is
it's Wednesday and Friday.
Tonight's Clay going back to the Bay.
Yes.
That's a group play game.
Yes.
How about Embiid? Also making his season debut tonight.
Yes.
Sixers, Knicks, I think it is tonight.
And that's a tournament game, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. So are you excited about the tournament? You're going to be breaking.
Nah, man, I will be, but we got bigger problems, right? It's hard to focus on the tournament when we've lost to Toronto and to San Antonio, 2 teams we're supposed to be so much better than.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. David's been hanging on. Let's talk to David here on Sacktown Sports. How you doing, David? What's up?
Good. Thank you, gentlemen.
What's up, David?
Just real quick. Yeah, just real quick, brother. I'm a little disappointed because what happens is against these weak teams and strong teams or whatever it is, it seems like we're emotionally driven. So if it means a lot to us, we'll put the effort in. And if it doesn't mean a whole lot, then they kind of step back. There's no reason that the Spurs should have beat us. And Fox likes to step up as a leader of the team, he likes to step up in the fourth quarter when it's too late. So I understand it takes a lot of energy, but if you put the effort in the beginning of the game, then you can take a rest at the end of the game because you already put them out.
Thank you, David. Well, I understand what he's saying, and certainly last year it seemed like the Kings had the maddening habit of playing up or down to the level of their competition. I thought the Spurs just beat them last night and outplayed them. I didn't have that feeling being a game like, oh, the Kings are not emotionally prepared, but I don't know. How did you feel?
No, I didn't. They actually were up, I think, 4 at the end of the first.
Yeah.
Like Spurs had only scored 22, I think it was. The third quarter is what shocked me. We went, it was a good 5 minutes without a bucket. Like, it was first time I've seen all season long where this team looked like they were out of sorts offensively. That concerns me. I'm looking at the numbers, Whitey. Spurs scored 24 in the third quarter. They only shot 39% from the field. So it wasn't a defensive issue. It was where the hell was the offense in the third quarter? I mean, you go 5 of 20, 0 of 8 from 3. Like, you didn't even make twos. You know, you were 5 of 12 from 2-point range, which isn't that good.
And weren't we just talking last week about how the third quarter, maybe that's the Kings?
That's their quarter. Yeah. They came out flat, gave the Spurs confidence, and after that, it was a wrap. It was a wrap after that.
We've got another David, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. How are you this, David?
Hey, what's up? How you guys doing?
Good.
What's up,
good.
man?
Thanks for hanging on.
No problem. Hey, guys, I just want to say this might not be a popular opinion, but I've been watching Mike Brown for a long time, since back when he was with Cleveland. And the one thing I noticed about him, even back then, was he seems to be a guy that strives as the second guy in charge, not the first guy in charge. When he was with Cleveland, I can't remember who they lost to that year, but it was when they had LeBron. And I remember thinking, what is he doing with these rotations? He had guys that were in the game that were balling out, and you just take him out of the game, and then they ended up losing, you know? And so far since he's been here, he kind of has the same problem. He seems to cater to his big guys, and he seems to, like, not really, I don't know if it's a trust issue or what it is, but he just doesn't like to go deep into his bench. And that's why I think that, like, to me, he's always been that guy that's perfect, like behind a Steve Kerr. He couldn't find a better guy to be the second guy. He's going to have his guys ready. He's going to teach them defense. He's going to have them going. But on the floor as a general, he's very confusing at times. I sometimes I sit there and I go, what is this guy thinking? You know, like last night, Alex Len definitely should have been in the game for size against him. Now, I know you don't want to put a guy like Domas on the bench, but why not move him to the floor? You know, he can shoot outside. He's not great at it, but he's getting better. You know, and you got two guys out there. You just tell him to stay out of the paint. You know, move things around, but he just doesn't have that kind of, you know, like mentality, or I don't know what you want to call it, but he seems kind of set in his ways, and unless he kind of loosens up, I don't think we're going to go far with him as our coach. I hate to say that.
Come on, dude. He was just coach of the year 2 years, 48 wins, ended the drought.
But that was 2 years ago. Look where he's at now. You know, we've been losing to sorry teams, and he's been doing it for 2 years now. That's not the player's fault if they're not playing up to the expectation.
Gotcha,
Why
David.
are we playing down to our opponent? Bench the guy and put somebody else in.
Thank you for the call. Thanks for sharing that. To me, it's more of a talent question than it is a coaching question.
Yeah.
And nobody's perfect, so we criticize. You know, they lost last night. You criticize anybody you want, but to me, I still think when you look at the way the culture has improved since Mike Brown's been there,
right,
and the way the players have responded to his coaching,
right.
I don't agree with you. I see your point. I don't agree with you at all. But I just think he could use better players coming off the bench. To me, it's more the players coming off the bench than it is the way they're being coached. That's just the way I see it. We see it differently.
And let me say this, and I hear you, Whitey. You know, it's definitely about, you know, upgrading the talent, being as much, you know, getting as much talent as you can. Right now, if my math is correct, the Kings are on a 45 win pace, I think it is. Which 3 years ago we would have put a banner out, swung the flag.
Yeah, but we expect more than that this
Exactly.
fairly or unfairly.
I understand that. We expect more than that. But also, you got a new piece in DeMar DeRozan. Malik Monk is out, and you aren't hitting shots. When you start making shots, that cures a lot of things. Like, where's Keegan Murray from 3? Where's Malik from 3 when he's out there? Where's De'Aaron? Like, it's amazing how bad our three-point shooting is. And sometimes that happens, yes, but we're 11 games in. And let's not forget, they didn't shoot well in the preseason either. Right. And so now it's
is that a good thing or a bad
thing?
No,
I'm starting to wonder, like, is this – but we're not this bad, are we, from 3?
I sure wouldn't think so.
Bad. Like,
worst in the league?
Right.
This team, worst three-point shooting team in the league? I don't think so.
That's that, and I don't think that the coaches think so. And I think they say one of these days shots are going to have to start falling. I used to talk to Brad Stevens about this all the time. He didn't look at the results of the shot. He looked at whether it was a good shot or not. And I think that's what coaches look at. I think that's what Mike Brown and Jay and all those guys look at. Are you playing the right way? Are you getting the shots we want to? Now it's up to the players to actually knock them. There's no reason that Doug McDermott, his last 2 games, should be 2 of 10 from 3. I feel like he's rushing it a little bit.
Yep.
When did you notice that too?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think to a degree they all are.
They all are, right? Yeah, exactly. And so how do we somehow get them to not slow down, but take their time, I guess, with their shooting instead of like hot potatoing it up there?
You know, Doug obviously has been watching a long time and he's passionate about it and he understands what's going on. I just don't look at the Kings right now and say, and I know a lot of people do see it this way, but I don't look at them and go, man, the coaching is really holding them back. I just, like we said, Mike Brown's not perfect.
Right.
There's things here or there, but I don't think that's one of their larger.
No, I don't think so.
I think they're lucky to have him back.
Yeah, I agree. He's added stability to this team. He's added respectability to this franchise. The star players, all the players seem to love him. And so I'm not going to start pointing fingers like that. I think we just need to make some shots. Or like we said, when you lose Malik and the starters aren't hitting, who's our X factor off the bench? I always talked about it, Whitey, especially now with Malik gone. We could have used Malik last night because when the offense is struggling, you insert a firecracker like Malik. Now we don't have that, and that's scary.
So is John Collins the firecracker? We come back with that.
Okay.
Next on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1. Yeah, any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration.
Truck headquarters reminding you that every deal at Folsom Lake Ford is a slam dunk. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, including America's best-selling truck for over 47 years, Ford F-Series, plus a huge selection of Broncos, Bronco Sports, and all of Ford's award-winning SUVs at FolsomLakeFord.com. Listen, I know a great play when I see one. And if you want to save on a new Ford, you got to drive the lane straight to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with $0 down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest financing. And Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. So hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they're my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop them online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Coming off that exhilarating win over the Suns, the Kings went into San Antonio, and you know what happened last night as the Spurs spanked them 116-96. Kyle Draper, Whitey Gleason, we got Kyle Ledbetter keeping us on the air today. Jay should be back with us tomorrow. We're just trying to figure out what's holding the Kings back right now. 6-5. That's not terrible, but there have been too many games like last night where you feel like, I thought they were beyond that. They're not shooting the three ball well. The bench is underperforming. Last night, the offense at times, as Drapes pointed out, the offense, it didn't look anything like Kings basketball. So what the heck is going on? Do the Kings need to go out and acquire someone, something to help? And that gets us back to a guy that Drapes brings up a lot. A lot of Kings fans have been talking about him for years. John Collins.
My guy. He is 100% an answer. I don't know if he's the magic pill, if you will, but he is an answer for us. When I look at John Collins, and I understand the contract, people be like, oh, Drapes, he makes too much money. I let Monty West and Vivek and all them figure that out. I'm just talking from a player standpoint. This is a guy that is coming off the bench for Utah right now, averaging 24 minutes a night, 15 points, better than 7 rebounds, 34.6 from 3. Not great, but he can knock it down. He can knock it down. Can rebound the ball. 2 offensive rebounds per game.
Can play 4 or 5.
Can play 4 or 5. Like, it's clear as day, this guy could be our Bobby Portis, if you will. If we aren't getting Bobby Portis, this guy, to me, is our Bobby Portis. You can start him. You can bring him off the bench. He's versatile, like you said. He can, in terms of, he's not a lockdown defender. We know that. But he can switch out in case you need to. And so, to me, this guy, it just makes too much sense. Mm-hmm. And I'm a firm believer that if you put John Collins in a stable, well-run system, i.e. plan for a contender like Sacramento is, he would be even better.
Here's what Sam Amick says about the Bucks, which could relate to, say, a Bobby Portis. Quote, I could certainly see the Bucks doing some kind of deal, if not more than one, before the deadline. In terms of the big stuff that comes with their team's calculus, Giannis, Dame, Doc, and Chris, I don't see anything changing. So his main point here is to say he doesn't think Doc Rivers is going to be let go there, but he does mention, and I know Windhorst mentioned it last week, the Bucks may be looking to make some moves. Could that involve Bobby Portis? I don't know. As far as John Collins goes, I've been reading a lot about this since we've been talking about him so much. And with the money he makes, the Kings may look at that and go, he's worth that. But when it comes to like matching the salaries, you'd probably, Drapes, as I understand it, in order to get him here, you'd have to be willing to part with something like Trey Lyles and Kevin Huerter, because you got to match the salaries. So, and I think Herter's, well, I have to look it up.
Yeah, I gotta look up the numbers.
Yeah. I tried that trade today on the trade machine and it worked.
ESPN, that's the problem, this damn ESPN trade machine. It just tells you
that the salary-wise, it would have to be something like that. Me personally, I think I'd rather have those 2 guys than John Collins, but I'm certainly interested in anybody with the skills that he has who's available to me right now, because I need something.
You need something, exactly. And
how about this, too?
Oh, yeah, what you got?
There's some talk that because he makes so much money, there's not a lot of demand for him. You might be able to get a 2nd-round pick with him just for taking his salary off Utah's hands.
And we need picks going forward. Like, when you look at it, I don't know, Whitey. I'm pulling up the trade machine. So I've never done the ESPN trade machine in my life. First time ever doing this.
Okay.
John Collins.
It's not that much fun.
Really? All right.
And then you get Hollinger evaluate you trade.
Really?
Yeah. Like on mine, when I did that, he said the Kings would they lose a win or something, -1 win for this trade.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It looks like it would be tough in terms of salaries.
Yeah.
If you will.
Yeah, but even if the Kings look at that and go, he's worth that, that's okay. When you get into the matching of the salaries, you have to give up a lot to get him.
Damn. That's too much. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I can't do it. Then what's our answer then, Whitey? Somebody come with an answer for me.
Yeah, you mentioned
Lonnie Walker
earlier.
You know?
Uh-huh.
What about let me see, NBA, Markelle Fultz.
He doesn't shoot that well, though.
He doesn't
does
shoot that well. I'm just trying to think who's out there.
Let's face it, the prime time to do all these things is past.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
These are off-season things.
Now it's trade.
Yeah.
And based on our roster, you're going to have to give up something to get something. I will say, if the Bucks do decide to move off Bobby Portis, his contract is much more manageable.
Is it?
Okay. Yeah, I think, what is he, 12 or 13 million, I think it is. So you won't have to give up as much. He would be a perfect fit. But what would the Bucks want in return?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they probably want one of our core players. And so I think we're in a tough position right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know who you get or how you do it, but the bottom line is you got to at least try to figure out how to get through the next 2 weeks without Malik.
Yes.
Based on what we saw last night, and we knew that already, but that's going to be tricky. And last night, Jason Anderson from the B asked Mike Brown after the game, what do you think, how are you going to handle this without Malik? And Coach said, bless him, he said, I wasn't even thinking about Malik till you mentioned his name. So,
shoot.
Fair enough. Okay.
Right.
But that's, it's next man up and so on and so on. That's a loss that could really hurt them at a time when they can't afford a loss like that.
Yeah. I mean, Malik is almost indispensable. I mean, when you look at the state of our bench, we need his scoring, but also, and I said this, I think on the pregame show yesterday, who's the emotional replacement for Malik Monk? You don't have anybody.
True.
And I thought we could have used him greatly last night, especially in that third when, we just seemed out of sorts. Everybody seemed kind of slumping shoulders, look almost bewildered out there. Malik comes in, hits 2 or 3 threes, and then bam, it's a different story.
I think that gets back to the whole argument Mike Brown has for bringing Malik off the bench. Sometimes a guy like that energizes things when you bring him off the bench. Right now, you don't have that.
Exactly. And
not anything like that.
We're talking about John Collins and all the, we got to figure out what it is we have, right? Because it's clear it's going to have to come from this group right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
probably.
And so what do you do if you're Mike Brown? Is it play Jordan McLaughlin more? Is it play Doug McDermott more? Is it just hoping that Keegan, Kevin, and the rest of the team finally starts hitting some shots?
I know I keep talking about this, but I am interested to see what Orlando Robinson can do.
Oh,
I don't know if he can do anything.
Yeah.
I know he had a good summer league, so believe me, I'm not saying here you go, Savior coming. But as shorthanded as they seem to be right now, if he's got anything to offer, they could use it ASAP.
Yeah, but I feel like, and I'm with you. Hopefully he helps. I feel like that the issues are bigger than just scoring or just defense. We're not moving at the right pace, as far as I'm concerned. I need to look this up right now. Where are we at in pace in NBA? Have you looked this up recently, Whitey? I'm going to NBA.com right now.
I don't think it's very high.
Right. I just don't feel like we're moving quick enough offensively. And so as I look this up right here, Kings pace, we are,
I'm going to guess they're like 14th or something.
15th. That's not Kings basketball. And I'm not saying that automatically leads to winning, because I look at Chicago, Atlanta, Memphis, Washington, those teams are playing at a high pace. But what's the narrative about the Kings going into the season? Oh, they're going to play fast. They're going to play. We're not playing fast.
Mm-hmm.
We're not playing fast. We're not getting out in fast break. We're not even in this half court, and we talked about it yesterday. We're not moving the ball and moving ourselves. I'm looking at fast break points. Got it right here. Where do you think the Sacramento Kings, with the fastest guy in the league with the ball, De'Aaron Fox, rank in fast break points?
I would guess they're somewhere around the middle of the pack again.
20th.
Wow.
This team. Come on, man.
Well, and I know I mentioned this yesterday. Your partner, Chelsea Gray, points out that the Kings like to shoot threes in transition. And if you're not making threes, and they are not making threes, that impacts your pace score.
I'm frustrated, man. Not frustrated. I'm at a loss for where do we go from here? Like, is it just making shots? Is it just hoping shots will fall tomorrow? That's what it seems like right now.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Brian's been hanging on. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, guys. Appreciate the show. And I think, Drapes, you hit it right there. It's, losing Malik, he's our emotional leader. And we need other guys to step up in that position. And I don't know that we have that person, so to speak. DeMar probably. But I feel like we need another enforcer in the middle. And I know DeMarcus and Ron Artest are not available, but we need a little more dog in this team. And I think we've fallen in love, and it's Kings basketball, like you say, fallen in love with a three-pointer. But I think we got to get back to De'Aaron taking the ball to the rack, and DeMont is posting up down low instead of sitting outside, and riding DeMar while he's hot. And if the three's not falling, we got to do something else. And I think your previous caller hit it, and I know you guys don't agree, but I think that Coach Brown falls asleep a lot, and his rotations are bewildering to me as well. And we've got to mix it up. And I think you guys said it earlier as well. They were slumping their shoulders last night, and we've got to have more fire. And I just don't see it with this group. And I think De'Aaron's got to take on a little bit of more of that himself as well.
We'll address that when we come right back. Also, we'll look at how the Kings have 4 big games coming up here with something to prove. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We roll on. Drive, guys. Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score buy one, get one free fries from McDonald's, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on pizza, burgers, tacos, and more all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms, taxes, and fees apply. See app for details.
Mira, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Kings got some big games coming up. They come back home now, and they've got the Phoenix Suns tomorrow night. Then they got Minnesota. Then they got Utah. Then they got the Atlanta Hawks. 6 of the next 7 games at home. And I know the conversation today has been a little, down in the dauber. But, Drapes, to me, it's pretty clear. The Kings have a lot to prove over these next 6 games at home over the next 7.
Well, yeah, 100%. I mean, you got some good teams coming into G1C. And the great thing about the NBA, we saw it, Sunday, Monday, is the next game is right around the corner. And you can change the narrative just like that. You come out and beat Phoenix and Minnesota, we're feeling good.
Very good.
We're A-okay, and so it's just it stings right now. It hurts. Mm-hmm. Last night loss definitely hurts right now.
Yeah. Steve E. says, I know he hasn't played an NBA minute. We could use Devin Carter right now just for his energy. I mean, maybe, obviously it's going to be really tough for him. He's way behind in his development as a guy who hasn't played an NBA minute. But sure, right now, if you got anything, if you're the Kings, anything that can help, let's go.
Yeah.
And he's been cleared to shoot now, right? And he'll be reevaluated in January.
Yeah, this is taking forever. Huh? I'm just like, geez. Yeah. Because I've seen him, at shoot around in practice. He's been getting up shots already. Now I guess he can do everything shot wise. But maybe he helps, but we shouldn't have to rely on a rookie to make or break our season right now. We got 3 all-stars, and we got Keegan Murray and Herter and, Malik when he comes back. Like, Devin Carter is just a cherry on top, if you will. He's not a key ingredient. At least he shouldn't be. If he is, great, fine. But he's not supposed to be the savior and the rescue for us.
Yeah. Buckle up. We're going to go to a real Kings naysayer here, if I remember from last week. He's been on hold a long time, so.
Who you got?
Let's go to Dwayne.
Oh, Dwayne, no way. Oh,
Dwayne, what's up? You're on the Drive Guys. What can we do for you?
Yo, what's up with my Drive Guys, man?
What you got, man? What you got today, big fella?
All right, so listen, I got, you know what it is. I'm going to get to it, man. I got 3 points. And then I got a trade proposal that'll probably turn the season around. But my first one is to that other caller, man. You need to back up off of Mike Brown, man. Back up off of Coach Brown. This ain't his problem. This is a Monty McNair problem. He's trying to figure it out, bro, with what Monty McNair gave him, bro. He needs to have more input on trades and drafts. You know what I mean? Because he's just trying to figure it out, man. This is tough because there's a log jam, and he didn't fill voids. McNair didn't fill voids and address what needs to be addressed, right?
Yep.
2, if you saw Wemby last night, he was doing whatever he wanted. Nobody was chucking him. Nobody was touching him. Nobody was playing physical. Everything was a clean look. I mean, he got clean look on everything, man. And then he went down low and started abusing Sabonis down low because Sabonis ain't got no vertical. So that's just a major mismatch. You saw what he did to him outside and inside. So once again, you got to get that length, man. You got to go get that wingspan and guys that are out there just for that reason. I have a question. If you guys can just pull up Herter stats for me from last night, that'd be great.
Just last night?
Yeah. What was his stats last night?
1 for 7, 0 for 5, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 points.
2 points from your starting 2 guard. With Monk out, you would think he would grasp that. You think he gripped that on the other level, and the opposite would happen. But instead, he shrinks, and he has 2 points from your starting 2 guard, bro. That's unacceptable. You will never win a game with your 2 guards scoring 2 points. I've never seen that before. So the trade that I want McNair to finally just do would be something like this. Milwaukee's a mess, so let's go poach him. Let's give him Trey Lyles, who I'm not impressed with, bro. He's not tough enough. Trey Lyles, Kevin Herter. If we got to throw in Keon, let's give him Milwaukee. Let's get Bobby Portis and Pat Connaughton.
There's a thank you, Dwayne. What do you think of the trade proposal from Dwayne, the GM? And thank you, Dwayne, for hanging on so long. I know you're on hold quite a while.
Yeah, I got to. What is this trade again? I got the trade machine.
This is Kevin Herter,
all right.
Trey Lyles, and if we have to, we throw in Keon for Bobby Portis, and I think he said Pat Connaughton.
Oh, he said Pat Connaughton also.
But I think that was kind of a throw in. It could just be the 2 for 1.
Yeah, let me see.
Trey Lyles and Kevin Herter for.
I'm on the trade machine because it's something new that I'm playing with.
I think to make the money match, they would have to take on another player from Milwaukee if they're doing Bobby Portis.
Gotcha. Yeah.
24 versus 12.
Yeah.
So Bobby Portis
on the Bucks. If I own the Bucks and my GM says he wants to do that deal, he is fired. Right? Right? If you're GM,
you're giving up.
He's a Bucks
Portis and Connaughton.
Yeah.
If you're a Bucks GM. Yeah, because here's the thing we got to understand with these trade proposals. We got to look at it from the other team's perspective.
Right.
Why would they do that? Why would they, are they enamored with Trey Lyles and Kevin Herter or something? It's so, and Kyle is right. This trade fails. Bucks would have to include one more player as well. But we can't just try and give away guys we're unhappy with for people
our spare parts.
Right.
We'll give you our spare parts for a guy that's really good.
Exactly. And so I'm not with that trade. I would love Bobby Portis. What we need, honestly, is just more consistency. And I'm not going to bash Kevin Herter for last night. For the most part, Kevin Herter's been very solid this season. You say Kevin Herter scored 2. Well, he can score 5. Like, everybody got to be better.
Yeah, in all fairness, and I know you're protective of Kevin Herter sometimes, but you said earlier when you got Keegan and Kevin Herter playing like they did last night, that really minimizes your chances to win a game. You said that yourself.
And like you said, you can probably overcome one, but not both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, I need Keegan to be better. Shoot, I'm going to keep it real. I think we got to get more from De'Aaron, in those first 3 quarters. I'm looking at the numbers right now. First 3 quarters, De'Aaron had 15 on 5 of 12. That's okay, but it's just I feel like last night, ignored the numbers. Nobody really played at a high level, their maximum, great basketball. Domas did his thing. Yes, could have been better. DeRozan did his thing. Could have been better. Everybody could have been better last night.
Yeah. I hope some of the players appreciate, seriously, what you do for them. HB last year when fans would come after him. Herder, and you're like Tabor Pepper over there.
Come on,
someone's
man.
coming after
Come on.
Jake Moody.
No, because, man.
No, I get it.
You can't look at the box score the next day and be like, this guy needs to be doing this. Kevin Herder had a rough shooting game, but nobody talked about the 3 steals he had in the first quarter. That, you know what I mean? There's more than just, let me wake up the next day, look at the box score. It was a bad game for everybody, as far as I'm concerned.
You see that trade?
Somebody got a trade proposal? Who is it? Who is it?
Ward says Fox and Herder for Damon Portis.
Oh, come on. What are we... Why do you... I'm about to get off this show. If Ward's coming like this now, is this what we doing, Kings fans? 24 hours ago, we were celebrating a win over Phoenix. De'Aaron Fox, so clutch.
People are frustrated, that's all.
Man.
People are just
calm
searching,
down, people.
Desperately clawing for answers. Let's go to Sean here. Oh, wait, Imran's on? Oh, we'll get to Imran in a minute. Let's go to Sean on Sacktown Sports. Hello, Sean. What's going on?
Hey guys. Great show. I'm just glad to be a part of it today. But here's my problem with Coach Mike Brown, and it's a problem with his overall philosophy. So when we analyze our team, we see that we have probably two of the best mid-range shooters in the game today. And our philosophy is to shoot as many threes as possible. Well, that is a problem for me. And so if, time and space has to be considered. When you shoot four 3-pointers in a row and you don't make any of them, now it's time to exercise something differently. Somebody needs to go to the mid-range. Somebody needs to get into the paint, which is where we really excel. But Mike wants them to continue shooting more and more threes. We're just not a great 3-point shooting team, if you ask me. I don't think it's an aberration. I think we're just not very good at it. We can be better, but our best scenarios are in the mid-range right now to me.
Thank you, Sean. I think that's an excellent point. And yeah, going back to Friday, which we haven't talked about, Drake, so much has been going on, when they were, 3 for 26?
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
And after the game, Mike Brown said, we got to keep shooting him. And he has been consistent last night, talking about how we can't pass up open shots. It'll be interesting to see if, down the road, or if we get to a point where we look at this roster and go, these guys aren't very good 3-point shooters. But my point is Mike Brown has been consistent in that message. We need to shoot more threes. If they start going in, he's a genius. If they don't, I don't know what we're going to do.
Right. And so the question is, who are the Sacramento Kings? What are we in terms of shooting? I got the numbers right here, Wade. Is De'Aaron Fox a 28% 3-point shooter?
He hasn't been.
Okay, I'm just,
Yeah.
Is Keegan Murray a 28% 3-point shooter?
This is the first time he's fallen to that level.
Kevin Herter, 34%. Malik Monk, 28%. Keon Ellis, our guy, was 41 last year, 33%. And so Mike Brown, the coaching staff, is, thinking historically, they're looking at the law of averages and saying, these guys are better 3-point shooters than they're shooting right now. To our last caller, Sean, we can't say this is just who we are. Keegan's got to be a better 3-point shooter than 28. Mm-hmm. Malik's got to be a better shooter than 28. You know what I mean? De'Aaron, better 3-point. Even if it's 33, they're better. And so if you're getting the looks, and I said it earlier, coaches will tell you, You live with the results. It's the process. Did you run the play correctly? Did you get an open look? Once you get an open look, that's out of the coach's hands. The players executed the play, perfect, open, wide open shot. Are we supposed to go away from that? That's not the NBA today.
To your point, Drapes, these are the players who are currently averaging their career lows from the three-point line on the Sacramento Kings. De'Aaron Fox, Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter, Malik Monk, and Trey Lyles. Some of those players have been around for 7-8 years.
Right,
I think Trey Lyles is in year 11 now.
Yes.
But every single one of them so far is averaging career lows. So even by their own standards, they are having career worst seasons, which, to your point, law of averages says it should even out at some point.
Let's go to a guy now who my understanding is in the rec leagues. He's just a 3-point sharpshooter from True Sports Cards, Emran Pilati. Emran, what can we do for you today?
I'm stuck in traffic and I'm listening to these trade ideas. First of all, the last caller, I think his name was Sean.
Yeah.
Didn't Sean sound just like Isaiah Thomas? I thought it was not IT that played for the Kings, but legendary Hall of Fame. Yeah, he sounded like, I thought that's Isaiah Thomas right
Might have
there.
been.
Anyways,
I'll go with that. Yeah.
I'm stuck in traffic on the 65, and I was like, I got to call in, guys. So check it, right? Kevin Huerter steps up night before last, does 17 points when Malik went down with a rolled ankle. He's considered a guy that stepped up, and it was a key component of the overtime win because he helped that scoring load when Malik was out. He goes 1 for 7 yesterday. He's a bum. Let's trade him. Right? maybe tomorrow Kevin scores 15, and man, I want him for the rest of the season. This volatility of emotions from our Kings fans needs to calm down a little bit for the continuity of it all. Right? Kyle sits on the same plane as these guys. He sees them every day. He sees the camaraderie. He sees how they get along with each other and the teammate building of it all. It's a brand new season. And as we look at these stats and as we think about these 3-point numbers, they're all going down because everybody's increasing the total amount of shots that they're taking. And it just goes to show you can't shoot 45% when you're shooting 10 3-pointers a game. It just isn't possible. You might be able to do it when you're shooting 6 or maybe 5. But Wemby shot 12 last night. He went 6 for 12. He was blazing. Okay, if he shoots 12 every game, he's not going to hit 50% of them. So as we watch these numbers decline as far as the statistical averages, it's because the players are taking more and more shots from 3. I believe the Clippers, and you guys can check this, the Clippers are shooting nearly 50% of their shots are 3-pointers. And it's a James Harden effect. If you remember Houston a few years back, they had one game where they shot more 3s than 2s. So as you increase the number of 3-pointers shot, of course the number is going to go down. And I just would say, let's calm down, let the team kind of marinate and let it be what it is. And let's get off of our players as far as their down games, because they're going to have them. Keegan had 5. We're not saying anything about Keegan, but Keegan played fairly decent defense because he was hustling, trying to keep up with a guy that was, a foot taller than him. So anyways, guys, I'm sitting here listening to this, and I wanted to kind of make sure that we keep our emotions in check during this time.
Thank you, Emran. Yeah.
Loyal listener, friend of show.
Yeah. Sounds like he doesn't like some of these trade proposals.
Yeah. I got an interesting stat I want to give to you.
All right.
Also.
I look forward to that when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
De'Aaron Fox plays here.
Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron. And a simple, casual spike with the left hand. The Kings lead by 3.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models.
I saw that.
Low payments and 0 down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Flo here from Progressive to tell you how you get more than great savings with us. You get customer service access through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
That's a lot of ways I can get in touch with you. I see what's going on here. You can't name favorites, but I'm your #1 customer.
Actually, we offer all our customers these ways to contact us.
I'm sure you give just any customer your personal
company
contact info.
Well, you did call us more than any other customer this year. So in that sense, you are our #1 customer.
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Welcome to Staples.
Help! My family's in for the holidays and I need gift ideas.
That's why we're here. Staples has amazing deals on everything you need. Photo gifts, laptops, and gaming systems. Even custom holiday cards and shipping solutions to send gifts to the family that can't make it.
Perfect! Have anything for Uncle Frank? I love him, but the guy is never quiet.
Noise-canceling headphones. For you.
You get it.
Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples. And right now at Staples, save up to $350 on select computers. Ends 11/16, in-store only.
When it's all on the line, you need a big-time closer. That's especially true when it comes to your garage door. That's why I proudly recommend National Garage Door. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. And whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family-owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE broken spring experts, and the styles, prices, and quality of the new doors will amaze you. I know they amazed me. Our garage door was starting to sound kind of like a box of scrap metal tumbling down the stairs. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said patching up the old one was an option, but we're going with a new garage door, and we're as excited about that as you can be about a new garage door. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer-branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 338-4554 National Garage Door.
You've heard the saying, penny wise, pound foolish, right? It means you do something that will save you a little bit right now, just pennies, but that ends up costing you pounds in the end. People put off tuning up their furnace because they don't want to take the time or spend the money to get it done. But it only takes 90 minutes and costs just $87, which is just pennies compared to the huge problems and expenses that can rack up if you don't get your furnace tuned up. You'll also save money on your energy bills, and your system will last longer. So don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Call Bell Brothers for a precision tune-up and professional cleaning today. Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
David Dusek writes in Golf Week that according to FootJoy, about 65% of golfers wear the wrong size golf gloves. A properly fit and maintained golf glove will help you stay connected to the club without extra tension, which can mean more speed. Snug is the name of the game. A perfect glove should fit like a second skin, wrapping tightly around your palm and fingers. If the glove is too loose, the extra material can bunch up and lead to a bad connection between your hands and the grip. The fingers of the glove should extend just to the tips of your fingers. If there's too much space at the end of your fingers, try a cadet version of the glove made for golfers who have shorter fingers and wider palms. The Velcro closure should only require a slight pull to secure. If you're stretching the strap significantly, the glove is too small. Natural leather offers superior feel and touch. Synthetic leather gloves tend to cost less and probably last longer. After your round, air out your glove to maintain softness and flexibility. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Thank you for being with us, and thank you, Kyle Ledbetter, for playing there, my favorite Golf to Go ever. And I am a big Frank LaRosa fan, but if the glove doesn't fit, it might be too small. It could be too big. I love that. It's just, it's very useful information.
Sounds like Mr. Rogers there, basic, info, no blank, like, of course.
If you have to pull the glove to close it, It might be too small. Now you said Frank's the best. He really is.
Yes.
You haven't played golf with him yet? You got
No, I have not. I got to get out there with him.
Yes.
See him out on the links.
Yeah. And when you're out there, say if you wear a glove. Do you wear a glove?
Of course.
Ask him,
yeah.
hey, what do you think?
What do you think? This is kind of
the fit.
It's not
got all this bunched material at one finger.
Right. It's only halfway up my hand. What could be the problem here, Frank? You know,
he's the guy to ask. You said you had a king stat for us.
Yes, because the narrative, and I see it on our YouTube chat right now too. Director of Rec 44, this caller hit it on the head. Too many threes. You know,
we're talking about Sean. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's our caller, Sean.
Yeah.
Kings, according to NBA.com stats, the official stats outlet of the NBA, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. The Kings' 3-point frequency, if you will, is 23rd in the NBA, 38.3. So 38.3% of their shots come from three. Let's look at the top teams.
Boston and Charlotte are way up
there.
Yeah,
Boston 1,
yeah,
56.2. Charlotte 2, 50.2.
Because their new coach used to be with
Boston, right? Exactly. Yeah. Charles Lee. Minnesota, 48.8. They're a good team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix, 48. You got Brooklyn, who's actually playing better than a lot of people expected under Jordy, 46.7. And San Antonio is the next team. So my point is this. They're actually not, in the whole scheme of the NBA, they're not relying on the three too much.
Right, but when they're not going in, you have to take that into account too.
Yes, exactly.
38% is too many, even though it's not the most in the league, if you're only making 30.1%.
Yes, but you got to, but my thing is, you can't live with the results, Whitey. Like, and that's what I think we're doing right now. We're being too reactionary to the results. Like, we know historically this Kings team is a better shooting team than what they're showing.
And that's a great point, honestly. But then, I mean, at what point do you have to, how long before you have to start to reevaluate that?
Yeah.
I'll give you, it's like, all right, it's 11 games in. Not going to do that yet. But at some point, if they don't start going in, you have to make some adjustments, right?
They're eighth in 2-point frequency, meaning they take, out of, I got it right here, 61.7% of their shots come from 2-point range.
Do you know what they rank in the league in 2-point field goal percentage?
Yeah, I got that right here.
I don't know the answer.
Second.
Okay, there.
Behind Cleveland. 58.9. And so I get it. And this is what we've talked about. It's like it seemed like this team was relying heavily on the two, being elite at two. It just last night, it didn't happen. And, you go 3 of 26, 26 threes in an NBA game, a few games ago. That's not bad, Whitey. That's not chucking up threes or anything. That's taking the open ones and you're just not making it.
But 23 missed threes is a lot of missed threes.
It's a lot of missed threes, but that's, like I say, it's not about making or missing, because if you're missing, you don't know you're missing until, like, let's say you're 3 of 12. Do you go away from the three then? Like, when do you abandon a 3-pointer? Because that's what people are saying on the YouTube chat and the caller. Like, am I really to tell Keegan Murray, if you're open, just because the team is shooting 30%, nope, Keegan, don't take that open three? That's the key for this team. You got to just start making them.
I understand your point. You're saying if you're not making many, so you stop shooting them, you're robbing yourself of the chance to get hot.
Right. Exactly. You're robbing yourself of the chance to get back level, if you will. I'm going to pull up some more numbers here. I got some more numbers here. 3-point in terms of wide open versus not wide open and all that. 3-point field goals, the Kings, 3-pointers. Let's see. Oh, no, that's not the stat I want. Give me some time. I'll look.
All right.
Because I feel like they're missing a lot of open looks as well. That's what I feel with this Kings team.
I'm with you for a while to a degree. I think it's too early to just start you're reconfiguring your entire offensive approach. But if the percentages don't come up at some point, and I'm not saying next game, but if, I think we could agree on this. If you're anywhere near the midway point of the season and the shooting percentage of threes is anywhere near what it is now, you might have to rethink this. But we got a long ways to go.
But here's the thing, what do you and I know we got to get to the calls coming up in just a bit, but it's not like they're shooting 53s a game and then they're actually not shooting that many in relation to everybody else, is what I'm saying.
I understand that. I understand. But if they're not going in, then it's still too many. What they needed to do, and you remember this, during the offseason, we were talking about what do they need to do? For a while, my first priority, I said, they need more shooting.
Right.
And so, maybe that's part of the solution. Find somebody else who's a better shooter to add to your roster. Get more shooting if the team's not shooting well.
But that's what I'm saying, though. The problem is, Whitey, not that they don't have shooting. It's that their shooters aren't making them.
Mm-hmm.
You could go, Doug McDermott is a shooter, Whitey. He's not making, they went out and got shooting. He's not making them. Malik Monk is a shooter. Keegan is a shooter. So to me, it's not you don't have shooters because you do. The guys just aren't making it.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Ward from YouTube. Okay,
Ward's
Yeah.
Here he goes.
Ward had a trade proposal. Hello, Ward. How are you?
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for watching.
First of all, the trade idea I had was Tony, so I was just making.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, first though, Drace, I did want to give you your flowers. I did want to thank you. You've made the games on the TV so enjoyable, whether you're doing the call or the pre-post game. My daughter just gets so excited whenever she sees you on the TV. She likes to yell, "That's our guy right there." So
that's cool.
She gets just excited to see you as she does for the players. So wanted to thank you, my friend, and I think we're going to need to get a Drake's jersey at some point.
Ooh, I like that. Please tell her I said hello.
Absolutely, sir. But guys, I just want to also lean on what Emery was saying. We are overreacting way too much. When you look at last year, we were 4-4 at this point, and this was coming off those two disgusting games in Houston. And, today we are standing in the same spot we felt after those Houston losses. But then after those Houston losses, we went on a nice 6-game win streak until we ran into New Orleans the first time. So moral of the story, we're 6-5. Let's relax. Let's figure it out. The sky's not falling, and let's just let things happen. I'm sure we're going to have a good rest of the way here. So appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a good one.
Thank you, Ward.
Fantastic call. Call it a day right there. Our guy, Ward.
I would say this. A year ago, a lot of people were upset that they were 4-4 because they felt like maybe something's not right. They were right. Those people were right.
Are we feeling the same way?
I think people are feeling it similarly.
How about these numbers, White?
Right now.
How about I finally did the research I was looking at. Wide open threes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking wide open.
There's actually a definition for that, right? It means
6+ feet. Okay. Closest defender, 6+ feet. The Kings are 23rd, 36.8%. Open threes. The closest defender 4 to 6 feet away. Dead last, 22.8%. So Mike Brown, Jay Triano, the staff, they're looking at these numbers right here and saying, we're getting the shots we want. Open threes, 22.8. Open threes is almost being in the gym by yourself. Wide open threes, it's like being in the gym by yourself almost 6 feet. We just, for some reason, aren't hitting them.
Mm-hmm.
And now the question is, and you guys tell me, Kings fans, do you believe we're a bad three-point shooting team? Keegan's not a three-point shooter. Kevin's not a three. Doug McDermott, Malik. I fail to believe that. I can't believe that.
We'll go back to the phones for the answer to that question. Right. That key question when we come right back. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right, sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah. Your one-stop Honda shop.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the only store in the world to be named the top 100 shop for 40 years straight. Yes, the only golf shop in the world. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is your unsurpassed spot to find the hottest golf gear, best pricing, and elite expertise. Try any club on the shelf on the driving range for free and let our staff show you everything you need to look and play better. You love golf. The Hagen Oaks team loves golf too. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue, Business 80. Learn more at hagenoaks.com or 916-481-GOLF.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
Before we get back to the phone scrapes, what would you say is the state of Kings fans based on what you hear, what fans been telling you, what you've heard on the radio today after that loss last night?
Like right now?
Yeah.
Currently?
Yes.
Frustration, a little disappointment, doubters. Kind of low right now.
Yeah, a little confusion, huh?
Yeah.
And I'm sure the team is feeling a little bit of that. Not as much.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I will say this.
Frustrated and angry.
Frustrated. This is the first time, though, Whitey, I felt like this season we sort of laid an egg, if you will. We may have lost games, but we played hard. We competed. You know, teams just got us at the end. This was the first egg that we laid, and that was last night.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Kyle Draper's question for you is this a bad three-point shooting team or just a team that's not shooting the three ball well? Marcus joins us on Sacktown Sports. Marcus, thank you for hanging. You're on the Drive, guys. Now, what are you going to do about it?
All right.
Marcus like, bro, really? That's what we doing now? I feel you, man.
No. I'm answering the question. I don't think the Kings are a bad shooting team. I think the way the NBA has changed the refereeing has allowed more physical play, and I think the Kings are taking advantage of that on the defensive end. And I think that might be draining them when they get to the offensive end. And like you said, just I had a whole bunch of notes and I'm going over them right now. But,
That's all right, Marcus.
My man had notes. I appreciate that.
You don't need notes.
Let me slow down.
Speak from your heart.
Okay.
We're good. Don't worry about it.
So they're appearing to be a better defensive team than they are. The problem with the change that the NBA made is that what's worse than losing is winning with bad habits. So they're being rewarded for this physical play, but like a lot of the steals or the blocks I see it like it could have been called fouls. So let's say the refs are letting those calls go in the first half or the first 2 quarters, first 3 quarters, what have you. They start calling them in the fourth or they start calling them in the second half. And what you get is a team that thought they were playing good defense the whole game now getting called for fouls and start panicking. That's where, like you said, teams start getting you guys in the end because if we've been playing like this very physical style of defense all game, it's got us hanging in the game, and now the refs make one call that we're like, oh, crap, they're calling that now. You start to see the team get a little panicky on the defensive end. And they have some good habits like keeping their hands in the passing lane, so they'll still get the steals. They'll still get everything. But what you see is what used to be a fast break in previous years is now a let's catch our breath and set up our half-court offense.
Yeah, gotcha. Thank you very much.
Okay,
for the call.
Marcus.
I know you had more, and I apologize. We got a lot of people calling in there. That's an interesting point that the Kings are working so hard on defense that it's taking something out of their legs. If there's any truth to that, I don't know whether there is. I don't know if it's knowable, but it would follow also that the fact that the starters are playing so many minutes might also be a factor there as well. And we talked about this only to the point of how physical it's gotten in the NBA now. Only 17 free throws in the game last night.
In the game. Yeah. But I didn't feel like it was a physical kind of game, though. You know what I mean? In terms of taking it to the basket, looking to draw contact. And when you play against Wemby, instead of trying to draw that contact, you're trying to get the shot over and you're playing kind of weak, if you will. And so
my favorite comment by a listener today is, and I appreciate all the comments, honestly, really do. Somebody said, well, Domas goes inside against Wemby and then he can't score over him because he has no verticality. Wemby's what, 7'6",
right,
and Domas is maybe 6'10",
right? What are you expecting, right?
Yeah,
I mean, Wemby does that to everyone, not just Domas. No doubt.
All right,
who else we got?
Steven has been hanging on to talk with the Drive Guys. Hello, Steven. What's up?
How you guys doing today?
We're hanging in there.
What's
Steven.
up, man?
Trying to make the best of it. How about you?
Oh man, just about to clock out of work. Unfortunately for you guys, I hate to let you guys know that, but hey, you know what? Bills don't pay themselves. So, where is Debo on our team? You know what I'm saying? Where's the guy that's going to tell everyone to lock in? Okay, that's kind of where I'm at. I feel like people aren't locked in. I feel like people are kind of like, I feel like everyone's maybe still kind of early. Maybe people are trying to get their bearings, but I'm a stats guy. Stats are facts, and we are shooting very poorly. If I am not mistaken, the past 2 games have been our poorest shooting performances that we've had in a really long time. I believe it was the other game before last where it was the worst shooting night we've had ever.
Yeah, that Friday one when we were 3 of 26.
Yeah,
that was the third worst, I believe it was, in Sacramento history.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, boys, we need to lock in, man. Absolutely, we need to lock in. A thing that I hear is so nobody's making the shot. Everyone's saying there's not very many 3-point shooters on this team. I've always been one that's called in and said that too, if you're not making the 3, drive to the bucket, get that 2. Because one thing that I hear on the broadcast all the time, I'm not calling you out, Kyle, but hey, you're my guy. You know what I'm saying? You are my guy.
Uh-oh. Here it comes. Here comes the backhanded, but.
No, seriously. It's just like, when Trey Lyles made that 1-3 the other night, man, he looked up to the sky, he looked up to the heavens and thanked his Lord and Savior that he got to see one go in. Isn't that a point that we always try to make is, man, it feels good to just see one go in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Once you see that first one go in, you're kind of locked in.
Thank you, Steven.
Yeah, 100%, Steven. But that's the thing.
That's not working.
It's not. We aren't seeing them go in, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem. I mean, I mentioned it before, Whitey, and you agree. You can't have Keegan, Kevin, and Doug go 2 of 15. Those are 3 best shooters, supposedly, you know? And so and that's why I make the point. We're just not hitting shots. These are good 3-point shooters that just aren't shooting well right now.
Does someone need to pull a Debo? Hey, lock in. Well, but who would say it?
Right, who would say it? Yeah, and remember they did it at the what?
Debo, right?
Debo. That's who I thought he was talking about.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
but didn't they do it at halftime of the Phoenix game? Remember, I think was it Phoenix where
it was the Miami.
Oh, the Miami game. Yeah,
right.
the Miami
You're right.
game.
Good
And
point.
so
I
I don't think they're that far off, fellas. I really don't. They're 6-5. Yes, bad loss yesterday, but this time yesterday they were 6-4, and we were excited. You know what I mean? They're 1 game off of 7-4. I know it feels bad, but it feels worse than I think it really is.
Bottom of the hour, we're going to catch up with Sean Cunningham from Fox 40, Kings reporter. We'll see what he can make of all this. When we come back, we'll look at some more numbers that illustrate clearly where the Kings right now, they're only 6-5. They're not out of this or anything, but tell you where they're getting absolutely obliterated next on Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sacktown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into 3. He's got the triple. Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1. Yeah, any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
Fall is here, and as winter approaches, your health and comfort are our top priority at Advanced Infusion Center. Whether you're managing a chronic condition or looking for IV therapy, our personalized treatments are designed just for you. Our dedicated team ensures your care is safe, comfortable, and supportive every step of the way. With locations in Sacramento and Yuba and flexible scheduling options, getting the care you need has never been easier. Discover compassionate care at Advanced Infusion Therapy today. Visit us at advancedinfusion.com for care close to home.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery. One of the most common questions I receive is what makes us different from other law firms. At Gingery Hammer and Associates, we handle your case from beginning to end. Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether we need to file suit, or even take it all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to you and your case, we are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
Black Friday savings on now on the all-new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy.
With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates, every new 2025 half-ton LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock at Maida Chevy.
Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area.
$8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, leasing, terminal offers. Ends 12/124. Source internet search 11/224.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
It's time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street. in downtown Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Here's a good question. I think it helps us in answering it to put everything in perspective a little bit, because I know a lot of Kings fans, myself included, feeling a little annoyed at the very least by last night. Emma Drock with the question here in the Chateau. How does this loss feel compared to the Pistons Charlotte losses last season? It doesn't feel anything like that.
Nah.
That's a good point. It's a disappointing loss, but to me, I didn't go into that game last night feeling like, well, the Kings, there's no question they win this game like I did against Charlotte and Detroit last year.
Yeah, you didn't feel like that.
No,
right?
And I know the Kings should be better than San Antonio, but San Antonio obviously poses some very unique challenges. So
yeah, it's a different
nothing
San
like
Antonio team. This San Antonio team is much better than it was a year ago. And Whitey, one of the things that they were missing last year is a point guard, somebody that could really bring it all together for the Spurs, and they got one now, obviously.
Sohan playing point guard.
Yeah,
right?
which was ridiculous. Like, I mean, come on now. And so they're a much improved team, and, they got wins over. How about this, Whitey? Guess who the Spurs have beaten so far this year? Houston, solid team, solid team.
Yes.
Minnesota. And now us. So they have some quality wins. They can beat teams. It's not like they're terrible and they're, going to be the 15th team in the West or anything like that. They got some talent on that team.
Let's see here. Ryan Williams-Art, the three-pointers will return when they start playing for the in-season tournament. We all know these guys are simply distracted and excited. The shooting goes up when it's time for the cup. LOL. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
The shooting
yeah.
goes up when it's time for the cup.
I like that. It's Friday night, too, against Minnesota. Big one. Watch, we hit like 22 threes, and we'll be all forgotten.
Now, Russell says the only reason it doesn't feel like that is because it's early. If this loss happens in February, everyone is mad. I can only speak for myself, Russell. To me, that loss last night, disappointing, was nothing like those losses last year to Charlotte, but the Wizards, Detroit. It wasn't like that.
And Charlotte was missing LaMelo, and Pacers were missing their start. Like this is a solid. I mean, San Antonio was one of the teams we talked about that could potentially be a play-in team. And so looking at them, they're 5-6. One game under 500. They're doing fine, man. They got some talent, too.
Yeah.
Remember also last year, Devin Vassell came into Golden One Center at like a 30-piece. And so they have some talent on this team, man.
Yeah. I'm not making excuses for the loss last night. This was nothing like some of those real spleen benders from last year.
Spleen benders.
Yeah,
okay.
That was rough. Right. So we all know that the Kings are getting clobbered at the three-point line. The Kings right now, let's see, they are 30th in three-point percentage. How many teams in the NBA right now?
Expansion happened 30. I think.
Yeah,
30,
so they're dead last. They're 27th in three-point percentage allowed. There are some analytics people that say, there's really not that much you can do to hold down another team's three-point percentage. Some of it's just luck. But they are 26th in three-point field goals attempted. They allow 40.4 attempts. So they're 26 in the most three-pointers they allow. And
so they aren't allowing a whole lot?
They are allowing a lot.
Oh, they are allowing
a lot.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, 26. Yep.
Yeah. So I think a lot of that is because they choose to try to defend the paint at the expense of defending the perimeter. You can't be two places at once. They give up threes, and teams have been knocking them down. So what it boils down to is the Kings have allowed 167 threes, and they've made 113. So you just do the math on that, and you're getting destroyed
from three-point range.
Yeah.
And this is a different philosophy we're seeing defensively versus last year, right? Sure, a team shot a solid percentage from three, but they didn't give up a whole lot of threes. And I wonder, too, remember, Jordi Fernandez was the defensive coordinator. Luke Laux is now and I think it's going to take some time. I think it's people brought up the zone. Luke instituted the zone. I think the team is still sort of learning on the fly how to institute and play Luke Laux defense.
And you made this point. I mean, overall, I know they took a bit of a slap in the face last night. The defense, while you can always pick and choose spots where it's like clearly that was a breakdown, overall, the defense this year has not really been the problem.
No, I don't think so. I think, the defense, when you look at it, going into yesterday, what were they? 11th in defensive rating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even last night, giving up 116 points. If they were like the Pacers last year, then we could say that. The Pacers were giving up 120-something points a game. We're not doing that. You know, it's to me, the biggest problem is not playing with pace the way you want to and lack of three-point shooting.
Yeah, and I think you touched on one of the key questions. This is kind of a cliche question. We throw it out every now and then about all teams, but I think it's really relevant to what's going on with the Kings right now. Is this team still searching for an offensive identity? The fact that we can even ask that question is remarkable because that's one thing we thought we knew about this team. That was a given, right?
Yes.
Like, well, we know what they are offensively. The rest of it, I don't know. But right now it's like, what are they offensively? We don't know.
We don't know. We still like, and here's the thing. I go back to what I said last week, and I said it earlier today, Kings fans. I think what we're seeing offensively, and maybe, this is, because they're not even shooting a whole lot of threes in the whole scheme of the NBA. And so I think they're leaning into the mid-range more so than ever before. Like, I got to look at the numbers, Whitey. I got them right here. In terms of mid-range shots, we're one of the league leaders in attempts at the mid-range, which never would have been the first 2 years. It was always three or get to the paint, spray threes. I feel like we're in a transition phase where we're trying to incorporate the mid-range game also.
How much of that is DeMar? Obviously a lot.
I think a lot. Yeah. I think, honestly, if we're being, I think it plays to DeMar and De'Aaron's strength.
Yes.
That foul line jumper, those two guys are money from that. And so I think they're trying to capitalize on the strengths, but also still look at Keegan, Kevin, Malik, Doug, all our three-point shooters and say, let's get them going from the outside.
I know you mentioned some of these, if not all these numbers earlier, but last night is just a snapshot, but we've seen these things, these factors at work in other games besides last night. Last night outscored in fast break points 21-14.
Yeah.
Fast break points?
Right.
That's the Kings supposed to be rip
That's
and
what
run,
we're supposed to be.
Crash and dash.
Yes.
As Kyle likes to say.
Crash and dash.
Yeah,
no, that's you. That's I haven't said it yet. That's tomorrow. That's coming tomorrow.
I'm trying to make him think he thought of it. And I'll go, oh, yeah, that was a good idea by me. Only 18 assists and only 2 players shooting free throws. So, yeah, and that's basketball. But the one end of the floor the Kings thought they had figured out, they're still kind of searching for some answers. And, I look at it, especially now without Malik, like these next 2 weeks. I mean, when we look at the games that the Kings have coming up, like this is a tough schedule. I understand they got Utah coming up. They got Atlanta coming up. But you're talking Phoenix. You're talking Minnesota. You're talking Clippers. You're talking Brooklyn, which is playing great ball right now. Oklahoma City, then Minnesota again. So if we're without Malik, let's say these next 7-8 games, I'm looking at 4 easily playoff games, contenders that we got to face. And then we've shown that we can't take anybody lightly. The Brooklyns of the world. Cam Thomas and them play hard. Yeah.
We're not at a point now where we can mark this down. This is a win because the NBA is too difficult right now.
Yeah, Russell asked the question in the chateau, shouldn't the Kings beat potential play-in teams, not get housed by them? Yeah, they should. But I'm just saying, for me, that loss last night was not as bad as some of those losses last year.
Yeah.
But it wasn't good. Let's make no mistake. Azalea Hathaway talking about Mike Brown's defense. What a terrible formula. We always pack the paint. That's what Mike Brown does. It leads to open threes. Yeah, that's kind of the choice they're making.
I got to talk to Mike about this because I don't think, and it looks like that, I get it, but I don't think the mission and the mantra is let's give up the open three.
No, but
what I mean?
It's tough to do that. I think the way it's set up is like, all right, you got to close out, high five close out.
Yeah, the high five
and
close
it's just tough. Some of the distance you got to cover for some of these closeouts, I think, is difficult. What they're asking of some of the players.
Yeah.
And overall, the defense has been pretty good.
Yeah, I think it has. And I forget who just texted in where you said we teams shouldn't house us.
That was Russell.
Russell. Let me ask Russell this. Is it okay that Minnesota got housed by the Spurs also. They lost by double figures. It happens in the NBA. You can't look at Denver and look how they struggled to start the season. They've righted the ship.
7-3 now or something?
Yeah, no, I think they're like, 9-3 or something crazy like that. Like Denver has figured it out. And so, but they got housed early in the schedule.
What they're doing, by the way, one thing they're doing is they're getting the ball out and they're taking off.
They're running, huh?
Yeah.
They're getting in transition. Yep. They're getting in transition. And so, 7-3, you're right, Whitey. And so, I just look at, like, they almost lost to Toronto in overtime, almost lost to Brooklyn in overtime. They've struggled, but they figured it out. They've won 5 in a row. And so we just need this Kings team to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Sacktown says something that a lot of Kings fans are saying. They don't run plays. It's just read and react. When you're running an offense that's not so structured, like pass here, pin down, it's tougher to guard.
Yeah.
Because the other team doesn't know exactly what's coming next if you're not sure.
Yeah.
I think it's nice to have plays you can run in certain situations, but I don't have a problem with them running a motion offense, rather than a Jerry Sloan really, half court, slow it down, structured offense. Well, I don't have a problem with that.
I agree with you, and I'm with you. But the problem that they're having is they aren't reading and reacting quick enough at times. That's what I saw last night. That's the point I exactly want to make right there. Like, you could see them. It's almost like the hamster on the wheel. You could see it turning in their head. All right, what should I do now? Where should I? And it's a step too late.
Yeah.
Like, they're not reading and reacting quick enough.
You made that point earlier. You were talking about the 0.5, which 0.5 is,
yeah.
You're supposed to, whatever you're going to do it.
Do it. Make that decision within
Yeah.
0.5.
Yeah.
And so I see Domas holding it, waiting for a guy to cut. I see DeMar doing the same thing. The cuts aren't coming quick enough, I don't feel like.
I think Wemby posed a lot of problems last night. You're not making the three, so you want to take the ball inside. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah. And Mike talked about it. And I don't know if people agree with this or not, and Chelsea made a great point too. And I'll tell you that coming up here in a second, but you drive, draw Wemby and kick. Like, where were the spray threes? But Chelsea said last night on the post game, you got to get Wemby in secondary actions. You can't just put him in an initial action and think you're going to get by him. It's put him in the initial action, then throw it back. Then he has to close out. Then you go back at, like, you got to get him constantly moving. And I don't feel like we did that last night.
So what did the Kings do well last night? Might be a short segment, but it's coming up next on Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys, live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus, view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Whatever the Kings have, maybe it's catching. Kansas is playing Michigan State right now. Kansas up 23-18. If I saw the graphic correctly, the two teams so far combined 1 for 18 from the three-point range.
What, one team
is 0 for 9 and the other team's 1 for 9.
See?
So
it's happening all over, right? It's not just Sacramento.
No,
here.
Whitey, that's just college basketball.
Right,
That's actually above average for college basketball.
The three-point line in college basketball is like 14 feet or something. Isn't
Right,
it?
right. It's like a layup,
Yeah,
right?
but the shooters are just so, I'm not going to say bad because that discredits the incredible skill set they have, but it's different when you've watched NBA versus college. There's so many missed three-pointers.
Yes, it certainly is. A lot of missed three-pointers for the Kings again last night, Drapes. But DeMar DeRozan, 21 points. Here's the thing about DeMar DeRozan, for all of the focus on whether he'll be a good fit, will he fit?
Yeah.
What's the fit going to be? I question the fit. The fit is good. It's just there's only so much DeMar can do about some of the Kings' other issues. When they're not shooting the three ball well, when they don't have a lot of depth in the front court, there's really not much DeMar DeRozan can do about that, no matter how well he plays.
Right, exactly. I mean, do people want him to get 50?
86 last night.
Right. I mean, he's not going to go out there and get you 50. I mean, and you look at the shot distribution. 19 for Fox, 19 for Sabonis, 15 for DeMar. After that, man, guys didn't get many looks. Murray, 7.
No one even got as many as 9
Yeah,
shots.
yeah. Keon, 6. Like, I don't know. It was just an ugly game, Whitey. You know what I'm gonna do? You like, I don't have it. This is one I'm a ball up the box score. I'm a throw
on my hip out of.
You can have yours. I don't know why you would want to save that one, but I'm gonna throw this game away last night
because I save them all.
Gotta hide it across the desk.
Good,
Just
bad, and ugly.
This is one I'm gonna be like, you know what? Just one of those games. I'm gonna throw it away. Actually, it took me 2 hours and 15 minutes to come to that here on the drive, guys. But I just realized, like, you know what? This was an abnormality, if you will. This isn't the usual for the King.
I got to tell you, I've made that drive after a late night in the Bay Area. It's a beautiful drive up to Sacramento, isn't it? Carquinez Bridge.
Right. Dude, you don't see anything, man. It's dark out there, some traffic. It's like, and I don't know what to listen to because by the time I get off, the post-game show on Sacktown Sports 1140 is off.
Oh.
So I can't even listen to a high flyer in them. So it's a rough drive, man.
So what do you listen to?
Podcast usually.
Oh, okay.
Like I was checking out Jeff Teague 420 podcast last night. Had on Steven Jackson is the latest episode. I love that podcast.
Right. You don't listen to music?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I listen to music going down because I want to get in the right mind frame. I have a pregame playlist that I listen to, sort of gets me in the mind frame. But at night on the way back, I don't need music.
You ever listen to The Joint on Sirius?
No. Is that a good station?
Reggae, man.
Really?
It's really good.
Is it really good?
Yeah.
I do got. Sometimes
Yeah.
I do listen to Sirius, so I'm gonna have to check it out. Okay.
Yeah. If
You're a
can't
reggae
get
guy?
11
You're a reggae guy?
A little bit. Not enough where I can say, yes, I am. But I enjoy it.
I'm learning something new about you every day. Yeah. All right.
That's if once you get within range of 1140, you listen to
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. But last night afterwards, I don't even know what we had on after Infinity Sports Radio. I'm like,
Kyle Ledbetter wants to talk. Should we let him?
What he back?
Oh no, he doesn't.
No,
Sorry.
No,
the way he leaned in there, I thought he had.
You ever see girls jump double dutch back in, and they're like, itching it? Was that how Kyle was?
That's what I thought. Apparently
he's like
not.
itching to get in there.
I just put my headphones on, man. I
Put his
just
headphones on and gave that lean.
I did this. I'm listening to what you guys are saying so intently. It's so interesting.
That was my mistake.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Kyle doing a fine job today. Jay back with us tomorrow. Sacktown says DeMar plays his game. The problem is the rest of the team goes off their game. I don't know. Let's face it. Keegan, they need Keegan to be at least that, rebounding force every night. He was a 0 last night.
Yeah.
He and Kevin Huerter both for whatever reason. And that's a big part of the problem. And it puts more pressure on the bench, which right now is shorthanded. So when 2 year 5 starters, as Drapes pointed out earlier, 2 year 5 starters are basically just not giving you anything. That's a tall order on the second out of back-to-back against a team that's either halfway decent or pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. And when you look at the Spurs, they had tremendous balance. 7 guys in double figures. We had 3. Even Harrison Barnes, 3 of 6, 10 points. And they went at the Kings early with HB. They ran their first few plays for him. And so, they had more balance than us. Think about it. We had 3 guys in 20 plus, Whitey. They had 1 guy over 13. Think about that. Nobody, Nobody scored 20 or more, but they had tremendous balance. And that goes to show you, when you get 7 guys in double figures, that beats 1 or 2 or 3 guys having great games. You need your full team. Keegan had like 5 points. That is not going to get it done.
Right. Sean Cunningham's going to join us. Kings Insider. He's with Fox 40. Bottom of the hour. We'll find out from him. Maybe at least get the latest on Orlando Robinson. But I got to ask you this, Strapes. We've been talking so much about the Kings. We haven't talked much today about the NBA at large. We've got the tournament tipping off tonight, and you mentioned the 76ers. Your guy, Kendrick Perkins, today. And I think this was on First Take, if I'm not
First Take, what did he say?
He said the Philadelphia 76ers could be one of the biggest failures in NBA history. What do you think?
Nah. I don't understand why he would say that. First of all, we haven't even seen the team together. And it would be a failure, obviously, if guys aren't healthy. But I still maintain once Embiid's playing tonight, once Maxey gets back, they'll be okay. To me, the biggest failure is what we saw in Brooklyn. KD, Paul George, James Harden, and Kyrie.
Yeah.
That was a massive failure. You know what else was a failure? The Lakers. Karl Malone, Gary Payton, Shaq, and Kobe. You know what else was a failure? The Houston Rockets. Barkley, Pippen, Glide, and Hakeem. Those were failures. Sixers, we got to wait and see.
Yeah,
we got to wait and see.
I assume he's talking about if Joel Embiid never wins a championship. To me, that it would be easily explained because he's just been hurt so much.
Yeah.
Sometimes you look at a team and you question, why couldn't they get over the hump? If, in fact, they don't, and maybe they will, it's going to be tougher now. He's so hobbled. But if they don't, it's easy to see why, right? And also they ran up against some really good teams, and you had, Kawhi's shot to bounce around and around. Bottom line for them is Joel Embiid has just been ravaged by injury.
Yeah, and at the wrong time, too. It's like, he'll play, most of the season, but then when you need him, he's out of gas, There's a lot of tread, a lot of wear on those tires. And so I don't know what the Sixers are going to do. Like, we'll see if Embiid's healthy. Paul George is back, but he's at least as of lately was on a minutes restriction. Still no Tyrese Maxey. I look at the Sixers sort of how I look at the Niners in football. Let's say they're the 6th seed. You don't want to see them if they're healthy. Same thing with the Niners. If the Niners get in, I'm afraid of them. And I think outside of Boston in the East, I don't want to see Philly, a whole healthy Philly team. They might be a 6 seed, 7 seed when it's all said and done. But if they're healthy, I still like their chances.
Can I give you an old school potential all-time failure
team?
NBA?
Yeah.
Tell me what you think. This is going back a ways. Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, no championships.
And they won it when Elgin retired mid-season, right?
Yeah. When just about the time he said, I'm done, they
were like
won
all
33 in a row.
Yeah, that's an all-time failure. No doubt about it.
How about Kyrie with the Celtics?
Can we throw Gordon Hayward in that mix too? Because that was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that was a failure. And I'll tell you real quick about that Kyrie situation too. The Gordon Hayward injury is what it is. It's catastrophic, devastating. But the problem with Kyrie in Boston was when he did play, and I'll go back to the series against Milwaukee, he was awful. Kyrie was supposed to be the guy. Milwaukee took him out of the game, and he was awful. And so he never even lived up to his billing there in Boston. Yeah, you're right. That was, what's another failure? And maybe we should have predicted this. When the Nets acquired Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce.
Oh, yeah.
They were terrible.
They made the playoffs, I think.
Did they?
They made the first round one year and maybe the second round the next year.
Slid in there.
They won one playoff series with Darren Williams, Joe Johnson, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Brooke Lopez.
And they also helped build the Boston Celtics back
They
up.
did, right? They did. First of all, Kyle, how do you know this? I'm afraid of you now, man.
I remember it.
I have to put some respect on you in our quiz.
I was looking this up a little while ago. I'm pretty sure they beat the Hawks one year in the playoffs, and I think that was it. But yeah, that was one playoff appearance. I mean, the weirdest thing about the Celtics run that is going to be hard to explain is they were awful when Kyrie and Gordon Hayward were there, but when both of them were out, they came within one game of making the finals.
Beating
with
LeBron
Terry
and them.
Rozier.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Kevin Garnett, Stephon Marbury, they didn't do more? Not one of the all-time NBA failures.
No, it's not a fail, but they should have had more time. But did they get to the Western Conference Finals or no? Or had Marbury already left? I think Marbury already left. And Tom Gugliotta, too, was on that team. You remember that? See, those were the days, man.
Yeah. All right, so the Kings with 2 big games coming up. The next 4 games are at home, but these 2 are big, Kyle, because the Kings, as you know, they've had, according to Basketball Reference, one of the easier schedules in the NBA to this point. You can only play who's in front of you. They're 6-5. The schedule has not been tough. So now we get to find out, what is this team like against teams in the West? And I know they just beat Phoenix, but what are they going to do against them this time? And, they've got a score to settle with Minnesota.
Yes. Yeah. This is a tough 2-game stretch that they have. Let me ask you, do they have to go 2-0 these next 2 games? Like if Friday after, Friday and we're sitting here and they're 7-6. How are we feeling then?
Probably pretty similar to how we are now. Maybe a little better depending on how the one loss would go. That'd be tremendous if they win both. I don't think they have to win both for us to feel like they're legitimate, but it would go a long ways towards making everybody feel a lot better about how this whole thing's going to hold together.
And the thing is, we got to also remember it's so early. They're only a game and a half behind 4th place, Whitey. Like, I understand it seems like the sky is falling, doom and gloom. They're actually better than the Dallas Mavericks right now. And so, sure, I get it. Things aren't going like we want to, obviously, but there's still so much time. You get a couple wins here. 6-5 is 8-5 with Utah coming up, then Atlanta. It could easily be 10-5 when it's all, these next 4 games, this homestand is done. So I'm not going to hit the panic button. That's why I mentally balled up the box score from last night. Dude, next time make a copy so I can actually do that.
Make your own copy.
Next time I come in, I'm going to physically print out a box score and just leave it in Drapes' seat.
That's disrespectful to box scores. Kings fans just feel they miss that feeling that they had in the Light the Beam year.
Right.
Of, look at this. Teams don't take us seriously, and we're running them out of the gym. And that was lacking for the most part last year, and they're waiting to feel that way again. And they've had their moments, but I think Kings fans the last couple of years have felt like, I thought this thing was going to really take off.
Right, and I get that, Kings fans, but I'll say this. I feel watching this team, in previous years when the Kings struggled, the other teams dominated us, took us out of what we wanted to do, punked us, if you will. I don't see that with this year's team. I see we're just losing. Like last night is different. Last night was different than the other 4 losses. But they've been in every game except last night. They lost to Minnesota, the Lakers, 2 tough teams. So that's nothing to, sneeze at. And so I feel like we're in a good position. And we're doing all this while being the worst 3-point shooting team in the league. We're 6-5, Whitey, and our 3-point shooting is dreadful. To me, I'm encouraged by that because I do believe it will turn around.
You're right. We have a lot of questions, but don't worry. Sean Cunningham from Fox 40 joins us. He has all the answers. All of them next on Sacktown Sports.
Here's Sean Cunningham. Who? I don't know.
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco! Lob ball. George went up and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sacktown Sports 1140.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy happiness. But money did buy your boat, where you find peace fishing, unlike at home with 3 teenage daughters. Because fish never argue about who stole whose crop top, or get mad the other fish used up all the hot water. No, they just swim around, never embarrassed to be seen with you in public. So save money by bundling your boat or RV insurance with home or auto from Progressive. And buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting.
And now during our Black Friday sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus special financing. Limited time. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
The holidays can be tough for some, especially if things from your past are still following you around to this day. Now, don't be afraid of your past this upcoming holiday season, as an expungement can help. And that's where the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez comes in, as he's local and has a great track record. Now that expungement can help you get a job, get your life back in order, and you'll also get your constitutional rights back. He's offering discounts on expungements now through Christmas. Call 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right, sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Don't you deserve health care you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Shop early, save big, all month long during Black Friday build-up at Lowe's. Right now, get select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees starting at just $59.98. Don't wait to save. Shop these deals today, in-store or online, because Lowe's knows deals. Discount taken at time of purchase while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
Oh, yeah. There are years in which we would have sold our souls to Elon Musk to have a 6-5 start for the Kings. This year, the Kings 6-5, it seems maybe a little disappointing because expectations have been so high. So where's this all going? What are the problems? We found someone with all the answers, Stripes. Not to put too much pressure on him, but he's got all the answers. Fox 40 sports reporter, Kings Beat pod host, long time. He used to work here. Long-time friend of the show and longtime friend, Sean Cunningham. How are you today, Sean?
I'm doing great, guys. I don't know about having all the answers.
All the answers.
I mean, man, I bashed my head up against the wall several times trying to figure out this team through the first 11 games already.
Is the poor 3-point shooting, is it a serious concern for you or still just too early to be overly worried, Sean?
I mean, I guess you could say both, but I mean, this is something that really trickles into the preseason. And, you know, typically we don't take much from the preseason, but this kind of reared its ugly head then. I mean, if I was to tell you guys that through 11 games with a minimum of 20 attempts that, you know, DeMar DeRozan would be your leading 3-point shooter at shooting 40%, I don't think anybody would believe that, but I also don't think that people would believe that the Kings would be dead last in 3-point shooting in the league. So,
right.
Yeah, certainly concerning. I mean, it's, you know, you talk to Mike Brown and the coaching staff and they feel like, you know, any minute they're just going to shoot their way out of this. And he's even starting to tinker a little bit with some of the looks that they're getting and maybe being a little bit more involved in the offense. And I think, certainly while you like to see, a type of game, an entertaining thriller like the one in overtime against the Suns, who obviously they'll see again on Wednesday, but you follow that overtime game with a kind of a clunker in San Antonio the next night. And when you just can't buy a hoop, and then, you couple that with what you saw where you only hit 3 of 26 against the Clippers. I mean, even for bad 3-point shooting teams, like that's pretty terrible. So, certainly you're going to hope to go from dead booty last, as I like to call it, to just maybe a little bit better, maybe rise up to maybe mediocre or just average. And you don't certainly have to be the best 3-point shooting team in the league, but certainly they expect it to be much better than this.
Sean, what's the answer? Is it just hoping, or is it going out there and getting more shooting? Like, what do you see as the solution if you're Mike Brown?
Well, I think, honestly, it's just getting tape. In my opinion, I feel like when you add somebody like DeMar DeRozan and you couple him with somebody like De'Aaron Fox, two guys who just excel in the mid-range, and certainly Fox has improved his 3-point shooting over the course of his career since he's been here these past few years. But when you're incorporating that and you're getting so many looks from a mid-range, so many looks from the mid-range as is, and two guys that can get to the free throw line, especially as DeRozan, who's elite in both mid-range shooting and obviously getting to the free throw line, I feel like there will be an adjustment period. Now, that being said, they can go out there and be top 10 in the league in scoring despite being so down in 3-point percentage. But I feel like it's just a matter of getting guys to their spots. Hopefully they can just add, just by osmosis, just getting guys more looks. I mean, Keegan Murray is shooting below 30% right now. And I think if you were to poll most of Sacramento Kings fans, him and Kevin Huerter would be considered to be probably the best 3-point shooting guys on the team. So finding ways to get them free, I think their lack of size really hampers them, especially in these early matchups, because they're going up against so many teams that just are bigger than them. So trying to free them up, I mean, really is just getting better looks. But having the tape, you have 10 games, well, really 11, but once you get to 10 games, you really have like a true sample size to start doing some evaluation. And it was funny, Kyle, I mean, you guys, I go in the locker room after that game against the Clippers the other night. I said, I went right to Doug McDermott, who, by the way, didn't even get in that game. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you're struggling to find threes. And Mike talks about wanting to get deeper into the rotation and kind of shore up some of these minutes that they've honestly have been robust for a lot of his main players, and rightfully so. I don't know that he has a lot of faith deeper into the lineup as is right now, but I had to ask Doug, I said, have you ever been in a team with you on the roster, whether you're playing or not, that was going to have just only 3-pointers made in a game? And he shook his head. He's like, I know there's games I've gone, without a 3 in a game, but certainly not as a team. So, in this day and age in the NBA, I mean, if you're not hitting your threes, you're practically doomed.
Sean Cunningham with us from Fox 40 and the Kings Beat podcast. Not to put you on the spot, but I want to ask you to clarify something you said in your first answer, which I thought was really interesting. Can you speak at all to what you said about Mike Brown trying to alter some of the looks they're getting or trying to get more involved in the offense? That was fascinating, Sean. What exactly do you think is going on with that?
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much relied on a lot of his guys to run the offense with feel, and you certainly saw it in preseason. He wasn't calling any plays. I think he's been a little bit more involved in terms of what he's wanting, spraying out to the hot guys as he talks about it. They certainly have their marks and their spacing and things like that. But finding for him to be able to maybe call more plays and maybe be a little bit more involved on the offensive end as opposed to trusting some of the players that he's had, because I think a lot of people will look at him and go, well, there's a first unit and a second unit, but that's not true on this team because they really don't do a full second unit. There's always a complement of the first guys, and certain rotations are going to play better with others. So I think when I'm not entirely sure as to, especially now with this injury to Malik Monk over the next 2 weeks, what that looks like. If you're looking at a collection of guys on the floor, obviously with possibility of when you have someone like Jordan McLaughlin on there, you don't really have a true sample size of who's playing well with whom in terms of a 5-man rotation. So when you're going to have to rely on somebody like J-Mac, who obviously has been really solid from the corner 3 over the course of his last 2 years, they're going to rely on that. And he's only taken 7 threes since he's been on Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
So this is going to certainly open up some opportunity for him. But I think just really Mike Brown getting more involved in the offensive end of the ball and maybe calling some more plays as opposed to rely on your, this free-flowing offense that you've kind of had your bread buttered with.
Got Sean Cunningham joining us. And Sean, you bring up a great point. And I was going to ask you about this free-flowing offense because I've seen Keegan Murray be ultra aggressive at times, and then I've seen him not be aggressive. Like case in point, last night, 7.
Mm-hmm.
Is it on him to be more aggressive? Does Mike need to call more plays, have a more structured offense? Because I look at, a guy like Keegan, and I know I'm looking at the numbers right now. He's had 11, 10, 17, 11. What happened last night? Like, did he just get lost in the offense or what?
Yeah, and last night was honestly, Kyle, I was wondering the same thing because there may have been some tired legs. There may have been some things catching up with this team, but with Keegan, who I thought played really, really well. I love the way he's crashing the glass. The double-double speak for themselves through the games that he's had. I love the way even, getting into the paint and scoring, having a couple nice putbacks as well in that game winner. But you're right. I mean, the three-point shooting has been inconsistent. Mike Brown talked about the Saturday practice before they went to Phoenix. He talked about, pointing out moments in tape where guys are hesitating to pull the three. And kind of my line of questioning, especially coming off of the Clipper loss, was it conscious or subconscious that they went away from the three because Mike Brown wanted to see them take more opportunities? They were 3 of 26, and he said, no, you can go out there and still you can find 10 or 11 more attempts in that game. They still want to get to 40, despite the way they've been shooting. That's still kind of the baseline that they want to meet every single game. And he's pointing out moments where there's hesitation from some of the shooters. Keegan is maybe the poster child for that. And that kind of stems back to his rookie year where these guys are telling you have a neon green light and you need to shoot it. We shouldn't have to encourage you to shoot the ball. And I think that's been part of his development. I think there's a little bit more fluidity in what he's trying to do, but I think certainly, Kyle, as you point out, that game against San Antonio, he was just a non-factor, and you just didn't see him have a lot of faith in pulling anything and taking the attempts. And I think, again, part of that may have to do with just some of the size that San Antonio plays with. I mean, they kind of get up in you a bit. So, and obviously when you have someone like Wembanyama just on the court, you have to alter almost everything you do to avoid him. So, I don't know. It was a conundrum, but certainly those words that Mike Brown talked about before going to Phoenix in terms of seeing hesitation or any kind of, stalling of the offense and passing up 3-point shots, stood out, and that rang true in that game. And I just wonder how much that 3 of 26 game affected that particular game, because obviously San Antonio was 2 games later. That should be a distant memory at that point, and you have to come out and fire.
Yeah, Sean Cunningham with us, Fox 40 sports reporter. He's also, of course, on the Kings Beat podcast. I want to ask you, Sean, the roster has looked to a lot of people like a little shorthanded, a little thin in the front court. Now you got no Malik for at least a couple weeks. I know that's a short-term thing, but what are you hearing, if anything, about how involved the Kings may be in examining what else is available in the trade market or free agency-wise?
To be honest, I haven't heard much. I mean, I would expect them to do that. I would expect them to be, searching and doing their due diligence as they've been kind of known to do. But I also feel like, not that this is going to be, the savior or anything like that, but I think there's some interest in seeing, can Orlando Robinson come back from this MCL and provide anything? Because honestly, here we're talking a lot about 3-point shooting and just how bad that's been. But let's face it. I mean, physicality, a long body, someone who can rebound, give Domas some help, and stretch the floor a bit, all in the same while, and give some rim protection is still sorely needed on this team. And I don't know that Orlando Robinson's going to come in and look like the second coming of Dennis Rodman by any means, but certainly he can offer something. And I think Alex Len, although he's had some moments defensively, has been giving you nothing offensively. There might be an opportunity there for Orlando to do something. And the tough part is there's really no practice time for him to, he's been cleared for contact, but there's really no practice time for him to kind of get his feet wet and immersed into what they're doing. So when you're playing 3 games in 4 nights, you're coming off this back-to-back, you got 3 and 4 nights waiting for you later this week, and then another game on Monday. They might have to utilize shoot around or find something where he can maybe even go 3-on-3 with some of the other guys, like in some of the lower roster players, and maybe find a way to bring him in just to see if he can provide some help in that area. But I mean, when you're talking about, especially with like Utah on the horizon, that Saturday game, they're not very good, but they certainly provide that length and athleticism. So I think he's a guy that they might be able to rely on, but certainly they wouldn't be doing their due diligence if they're not looking at what's out there.
Yeah, they got that stretch 3 games in 4 nights. Tough one against Phoenix and Minnesota. Sean, I'm looking at the landscape of the league, and I feel like, are we overreacting to last night? Because I remember this time yesterday, they were coming off a great win against Phoenix. We're feeling good about this team. There's a chance this week to really get back and get on track, right the ship. Is it still too early to make any sweeping, assertions about this team?
Yes. I mean, look, I think you're still feeling good about what you have in terms of what this team does from a level of compete. I mean, we've seen both De'Aaron Fox and DeMar DeRozan backpack this team, particularly DeRozan. I mean, he's been phenomenal in my opinion since he's been here. He's playing like an all-star. He really is. Him and Sabonis together have been really, really incredible. That's one of the things that absolutely give you, make you want to bash your head against the wall, is they can be an upper echelon elite offensive team, but also be dead last in 3-point shooting. Mm-hmm. So I think both things can be true. This is a tough out. This is a team that's going to compete and give it to you and find ways to score. And I don't think they're going to get blown out of many games. I think you're going to see a lot of games where they're doing the blowouts, but also they're going to go right down to the wire. And that's where, that's what they're expecting, and having 2 clutch players, really 3 clutch players when you have Malik Monk, but with Fox and DeRozan, I mean, there's a lot to like about this Kings team. I mean, certainly you can look at it, and people I talk to around the league will say there's a imbalance to the roster. And I think we can all agree where there is. I mean, you're loaded with guards. You don't have a lot of, size and athleticism, but that's okay right now. If you can keep your head above water, you're going to be a competitive team. I still expect this team to be anywhere from 6 to 10 in the West, and I think that's kind of where they'll be. And I don't think they'll even really go below 8 or 9 when it's all said and done. But through this early going, this is, everyone's so banged up already in this Western Conference, and the Kings picking up injuries to Malik Monk is certainly going to hurt. But I think certainly you know right away what you need on this team, and that's probably a benefit when you're still so many months away from the trade deadline.
All right, Sean Cunningham, speaking of Malik Monk, let's say Mike Brown, and he probably does this all the time, and you're too modest to talk about it. If Mike Brown came to you and said, Sean, what do we do about Malik? While Malik's out, how do we best handle his absence here over a couple weeks? What would be your advice? What's the best way for the Kings to minimize the negative impact of Malik's absence?
Certainly they've got guys on there who can handle the ball, right? And they can play a playmaking role. Jordan McLaughlin doesn't give you a whole lot of size in that regard, but I love the way they lean on DeMar DeRozan. That being said, I mean, it's what Malik offers just from a whole vibe standpoint. Like he is their identity. And I think that's where his loss will be felt the most. And certainly, he can turn it on and get going on an offensive end and get guys involved. He has a brilliant 2-man game with Sabonis, but it's kind of by committee because they just need to have the vibes up for this team. I think DeRozan will help with that a lot. I love seeing, Malik Monk and Domantas Sabonis' 2-man game. But Herter and DeRozan have actually had a nice 2-man game with Sabonis as well. Finding him more involved in the offense is always something I'm a fan of, to give him more shots. But I think more than anything, it's not so much of what he does on the court. It's really just what he means to the team in terms of identity. And that's probably the hardest thing to replace when you lose Malik Monk.
Hey, Sean, when I look at last night, and it took me, and I told Whitey this, about 2 hours and 15 minutes to decide. But I decided, you know what? I'm going to ball up the box score, throw it away. To me, I felt like that was an outlier in this regard. Sure, the 3-point shooting was bad, and that's been an issue. But this team has been elite from 2-point range, and I don't think I've seen a game this season where the offense has 16 in a quarter, 25 in a quarter, 41 for a half. I feel like the combination of the back-to-back, give San Antonio some credit. Last night, to me, wasn't a true indication of this team.
Yeah, I mean, all those things can be true. The only thing I would push back on is I still think this team, you can't help but point out just how awful they've looked from the perimeter, and you hope that goes away. You hope that they correct that on their own, and I think they will to a certain degree. I don't think they'll be dead last, but 100%. I mean, you've got moments to be able to capitalize, and considering what you went through, to put Phoenix away, which was, lost for only the second time. I know Kevin Durant wasn't on the floor, but they only lost for the second time this season through their first 8 games or whatever it is. And so they're going to have them again on Wednesday. And certainly they're going to be looking for some payback. But like you mentioned a minute ago, Kyle, they have opportunity ahead of them, and they have some get right games, as I like to call them. So, but this fan base, you've been here long enough to where you know that people, it's a roller coaster. And the interesting thing about it is, and this, I haven't figured this part out for this part of the season, but the fans, certainly one way to be on the roller coaster, but it's another thing to have the players on the roller coaster with them. And in past seasons, really the last 2 seasons, really last year as well, the players were on the roller coaster with those fans. They were up and down so much with this team, and they like to say certain things, but then you get them in private and they have concerns about, some of the things that they're doing. This was last year. I haven't heard that so much this year. You take them at the 5 to 10 game sample size, and you can react to the season, of course, but you can just look at the quotes. I mean, they go hot and cold, just like some of the fans do in this town. And I hope we don't see that so much this year, because they need to play that day-to-day kind of game, that old cliche where you take it game to game and don't get too high or too low, because in doing that, you're going to just create chaos for your team. And I think that's what they did to a little bit last year. They were having to deal with expectations. And, I know a lot of people point out at what Mike Brown talked about before last year, talking about championship expectations, that it's not necessarily, a win just to make the playoffs anymore. And they obviously checked that box the year prior. So this year there's expectations just like there was last year. And there's a lot riding on this season. So I can understand why people get hot and cold with it, but you're right, Kyle. You look at it and you just go, "You're fine. You're 6-5 for your first 11 games. You're fine." There's teams that are already looking like, can you imagine if you're a New Orleans Pelicans fan right now?
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
They don't have any fans,
there?
do they? There's they're one of those teams. There's no fans of the Pelicans, are there? I mean, back there, but right? Do you know anybody who's yeah?
No, and I was gonna say, and I'm really shocked. I was talking about this the other day. Like, you look at the West, there's nothing. I mean, I feel pretty good about where the Kings are right now, to be honest. I even like with some of the things they've done defensively. I think they've had really great moments defensively.
Yeah.
But you look across the league, and it's like the Warriors are certainly a surprise.
Yeah.
And the Mavericks, I haven't loved what I've seen from them. Obviously, they're going to play the Warriors tonight, and that'll be an interesting matchup. But I haven't liked the start that Dallas started out with. I mean, they're kind of righting the ship now, and they're about back to 500. But there's a lot of those knee-jerk early season reactions, and certainly the Kings are among them.
Sean, we appreciate your time as always. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks.
You got it, guys. Take care.
All right, Sean.
The Pelicans are one of those teams. Do you know anyone who's around here in this vicinity who's like a Pelicans fan? You probably know. You certainly
Zion fans, maybe. But
Celtics fans, sure. Dallas fans, I guess.
But not like representing the Pelicans.
Oh, Pelicans.
Nah.
Who are the Pels playing tonight?
Right. No, you're right about that. I can't think of anybody.
BI.
Right. Oh, man. No, you're right about it. I can't think of anybody. They only come out when they play the Kings, it feels like,
Yeah. I thought of all the things Sean said that were very interesting. The most interesting was talking about Mike Brown trying to do what he can to help with the poor 3-point shooting. So he is trying to add a little more structure to try to produce more shots, better shots. And he's, getting a little more involved, directly,
more hands-on, if you will.
Because we all I don't know about you, but I think we've been talking about this. Like, what do you do? What do you do? Well, obviously he's trying to do
something. Yeah. And we'll see. I thought last night we saw him go deeper into the rotation earlier.
Yeah.
And obviously Malik hurt. It's going to happen that way. But McLaughlin getting, early minutes, Doug McDermott. And so I think the fact that he turned to Doug earlier, and, people say, well, Malik got hurt. So, no, but Doug, before Malik got hurt the other night in Phoenix, got in the game early. So I think he's trying to, jumpstart it that way as well. But I'm interested in tomorrow seeing how the offense flows now.
I do think, and I'm a fan, and I know I'm prone to ups and downs, and you get upset with this or that. But seriously, the talk of Mike Brown to me, I don't know Mike. I've talked to him. He doesn't know. I don't know him.
Yeah.
But I mean, the talk, that started last year of jumping off the Mike Brown wagon. To me, it's like it is so short-sighted.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying anyone who says that is dumb. Obviously, you could be really smart and say dumb things. To me, that's a really dumb thing to say.
It really is.
Doesn't make you a dumb person to say,
right.
But it's a dumb thing to say.
Exactly. I mean, Mike Brown's been the best thing we've had since Adelman going. He's changed things, and we can't go into the season, Whitey, talking about the deficiencies of the roster. And then once we see it play out, be like, oh, Mike Brown is, we talked about it. You wanted shooting. We want some depth at the 4 and 5 spot. Like there's some holes there that still this team needs to fill.
He's not perfect, obviously.
Right,
and you can quibble with this or that, but the whole, you got to get rid of that guy. It's like,
it's like,
in the
what?
world?
What?
Who are you going to replace him?
He came 1 win away from making it to the second round.
Yeah.
It took Steph Curry to drop 50.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
Especially if you've been, to Sean's point, a longtime Kings fan.
Yeah.
Where for a while there, it was like every 6 weeks they had a new coach.
Right.
And the team just kept getting worse.
Exactly. Let them build. And I look back at Michael Malone in Denver. Remember, he even said it. They wanted him gone there in Denver. But they stayed with it, and bam, look at them. They won a championship. Now they're rocking and rolling.
Mm-hmm. So fingers crossed. The next few games going to be big. Like you say, if they win both the next two, maybe they don't. They win both the next two, the picture is a lot brighter.
Yes, exactly. You'll go to 8 and 5 with wins over Phoenix and Minnesota, Utah up next, and Atlanta. You got a chance to do something here.
I know they just beat Phoenix. Phoenix is, they're no slouches, but Minnesota's a tough matchup for this team right now.
That's going to be a good matchup. That's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
In-season tournament game. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Emirates Cup game or whatever they're calling it now.
You gotta get that right.
I got to get that right before Friday.
You can't be, whatever this thing is called.
Whatever
what is it called again? All right.
Oh, man.
Would you like to hear how Tom Brady says the 49ers offenses got predictable?
Yes.
All right.
I would love to hear.
We've got that coming up for you next. Sacktown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now, during our Black Friday sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus special financing. Limited time. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Check, check, and check. That's the sound of me getting a jump start on my holiday list. But I can't take all the credit. Kohl's makes it too easy. I got my daughter a mini instant camera, my husband his favorite cologne, my sister Kookaburra by UGG slippers, and that's just the beginning. Then I got 20% off some of my other gifts. Yep, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Select styles. Offer valid to November 23rd. Coupons do not apply to tech, Sephora at Kohl's, and Kookaburra by UGG. Some exclusions apply. See store at Kohl's.com for details.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills that features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's November does not mean we can't barbecue outside.
Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
Black Friday savings on now on the all-new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates, every new 2025 half-ton LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock at Maida Chevy. Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area. $8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, leasing, and other offers. Ends 12/1/24. Source internet search 11/2/24.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1. Yeah, any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right. Sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
The Emirates Cup play is underway, the in-season tournament. We've got the Knicks and the Sixers on, and they're playing in Philly, and very exciting, and they're playing on a blue court. What do you think, Drapes?
Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad.
It's my favorite color. I want badly to like it. I'm warming up to it. It's a
Are
little
you?
much, you know? I've never seen a basketball court that's all blue.
All blue like
so
that.
I'm getting
yeah.
there. I kind of like it, but the traditionalist in me is like, whoa, now,
Yeah,
whoa, is it
yeah.
a little much? But I'm getting there.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what, on Friday, we'll be at the arena. We get a up close and personal firsthand look at it, seeing what the Kings court looks like. And so I'm looking forward to that. I actually like the courts, man. It gives us a little something different. You know, it's not plain. It's not boring. It's like, in your face, bold, if you will.
Yeah, I get it. They're just trying to spice up the early season games. They got rid of that thing they had last year, which was a line running from one lane all the way through cross court to the other lane. And now it's supposed to be the runway to Vegas.
Yeah, runway to Vegas. Yeah,
so they got rid of that.
Right, that didn't go over too well.
Yeah, so we'll tell you more about that coming up. But right now we got some 49er news, a little bit of 49er news. And this happened today. Perhaps you've seen this. 49ers and Diamador Lenore have reached a 5-year, $92 million extension, according to Jeremy Fowler. So,
well deserved, right?
Yep. Also, this note, and Jay passed these along. Jay back with us tomorrow, and thank you, Kyle Ledbetter, again. They got the big Clay return to the Chase Center tonight.
Yeah, Chase tonight.
And Killian on Twitter says 400 Warriors employees lined up to welcome Clay. Never seen anything like it for a returning player. Clay's teammates walked through first and must have been blown away. 400 Warriors employees welcoming back.
Yeah, I'm about to send you the video. Have you seen the video of it yet? It's actually pretty cool. I was giving the Warriors mess for coming up with these Klay Thompson hats, these Thurston Howe III hats, but it's pretty cool to see all the employees out there cheering him on.
That is amazing.
Yeah, right. And deservedly so. This guy helped you win 4 championships. And so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Kyle Ledbetter has the sound of, is this Clay walking through in front of all the employees?
Yes, this is Clay walking out of the bus down the visitors tunnel. And then you'll hear, as the clip goes, the employees
at Chase Center.
To it.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember, Drapes. He had a pretty good quarter against the Kings once, but we don't need to.
Wait, what did he have? Like,
I don't know.
1, 3, 6 points, something like that?
Yeah. He also scored 0 points in his last game, right?
Okay, Kyle. I see where you're at.
Against the Kings,
That's a good way. Yep. Good job.
Two things I always remember about Clay. One was, of course, when he tore his ACL, went in the locker room, came back out to shoot the free
throws. Yep,
he didn't know how badly he was hurt. The other thing is, it's probably the only time I ever did a radio interview with him, and we're talking to him, and they're in Milwaukee or something, and he's talking. He's really good interview, and you can hear something in the background. It's like, Clay, what are you watching cartoons? And he goes, oh yeah, I'll turn it down. He was
That's awesome. That's awesome.
While we were interviewing him. So a big emotional night for Klay Thompson and the Warriors. Meanwhile, in the Bay Area, I don't know if you're a 49er fan right now, how you feeling, Drapes?
What you got?
Guardedly optimistic out of the win?
Nah, I still got some problems, right? It's like, I guess maybe guardedly optimistic, but I didn't come, if you're a Niners fan, I don't know how you come away from that feeling great about it.
Now, we do have you on record today, moments ago, saying the 49ers get in the playoffs. I'm scared of them. You did say that.
I did say that. Yeah, 100%.
Well, we talk about coaches and Mike Brown, and a lot of people during the course of the season have been critical of Mike Shanahan, right? Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan. So Tom Brady actually said something pretty critical of the 49er offense during the telecast against Tampa Bay. And here's what it was. How many times this year have you seen the 49ers on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, and they end up throwing a completion short of the stick?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, here's what Tom Brady said. He said, in critical situations, you never want to be forced into a hot throw if you're an offense. But against the 49ers, if you bring the linebacker and the nickel to that side, he's going to be free. And if you can't block that pressure, you're going to be stuck throwing short of the sticks. That was Tom Brady. And long story short, he's talking about how the 49ers, they don't have the quarterback adjust the protection. Kyle Shanahan believes that it should be built in. And if the quarterback sees that, we don't have this blocked properly, he's trained to go to a hot route, which is there's going to be receiver open because they're blitzing. So you throw underneath. But it looks like teams are realizing all we do is do that. They're going to throw underneath if it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9.
Right.
And they catch
Make
the pass
tackle.
and we stop them short of the sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you know what? That's a key observation Tom made, because I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, we talked about how come Brock isn't audibling or doing, how come guys are just coming, and Tom Brady was one of the best. Peyton Manning, one of the best at recognizing where the blitz was coming from.
Yeah.
And, getting the protection in place. It seems like Brock doesn't have any powers at all, if you will.
And apparently,
at the line.
from what Ted Nguyen wrote in The Athletic, it's not like just a Brock thing. It's not like they don't trust Brock. It's part of Kyle Shanahan's offense where the quarterback doesn't have to do that. You don't have to adjust the pressure. You have an automatic you can go to. And when you're not able to run the ball, and you're facing so many 3rd and longs, it's problematic because you just throw underneath and you're not getting enough for the first down. Last year, 3rd down conversion rate, the 49ers were 4th. Right now, they're 7th at 43.5%.
Actually better than I expected.
Last 3 games are at 39.4%. So it looks like maybe one of the issues is, first of all, you can't run the ball, so you're facing 3rd and longer.
Yeah.
But teams maybe are adjusting a little bit to what they're doing.
Right. And I got to look at the numbers. That's something. And then I got to look at the YAC numbers, yards after contact numbers as well. I don't see. And that's one thing where CMC will help you out a great deal. I feel like having him back. Like, it just seemed like last year, it was hard to bring down the Niners, whether it was Debo, CMC. This year, I'm not noticing guys breaking as many tackles this year. Like I said, I think CMC will help that. And then some of those, 3rd and 9s turn into 3rd and 6s or 3rd and 4s or something like that when you're able to do that.
One of the biggest stories from the game on Sunday, of course, was Debo going after, or rather telling Jake Moody, lock in, apparently. Tabor Pepper trying to protect Moody. So first, on Sunday, Kyle Shanahan said, it's not a big deal. We'll take care of it. But he felt the need yesterday to address it with the media.
I didn't initially. After the game and stuff, I didn't think it was too big of a deal. But, after getting home and seeing it all on SportsCenter and everything and all that stuff, I wanted to make sure I did and talk to the guys about it, talk to a number of guys on the team, and we squashed it and we're good.
Yeah, so he did feel it was something that he had to address with the team.
Right, and rightfully so. I mean, it's, at the time, he probably didn't see the video, didn't see how bad it was, probably got word of it, then went home, like you said, watched it, and it was like, yeah, that's a bad look. And so, but Pepper had said, no need for an apology or anything like that. But, I get it, heated of frustration, but come on, Debo, you got to be better. And, I don't think it's, now, if it happened to like the Cowboys or something, then I'm like, because they're a dysfunctional bunch right now.
They're a clown show right now.
They're a clown show. Like, the Niners are still together. They still believe in their head coach. They're still winning some ball games. They're still competing. And so I'm not going to make too much of a deal out of it.
Tough loss last night for the Niners' divisional rival, the Rams, at home.
At the crib last night. How about Miami?
Yeah.
They needed that. Much needed. Tua, back. Tyreek Hill playing. Got me a touchdown in my fantasy team. So, yeah.
You mentioned the Cowboys. Have you heard what the controversy is today? And Jerry Jones addressed it on his radio show, where there's a play last against your team, I think it was, where CeeDee Lamb couldn't see the ball because the sun was in his eyes. Yeah. So now they're making a big deal of, why is it indoors? Why is the sun shining? In the players' eyes. And Jerry Jones went on the radio and said, well, we feel that's our home field advantage.
But like,
and he actually says, they said, home field advantage. Well, and how come it didn't bother the Eagles? And he said, don't they have a coach that used to coach with the Cowboys?
Yeah.
And he said, well, he's used to it. And I'm sure they trained their team to be ready for it. It's just ridiculous.
But it's been there though, Whitey. It's been there though. Who was CD said that? Come on, man. Like, don't use that as an excuse, right? Like, yeah, you've played there. You played there 8 or 9 times every season.
I don't know if this one's an excuse, though, because literally, if you watch the video, he drops a touchdown pass because he could not see it.
No, it is. But yeah, it happens, as I'm saying. Yeah. But, just be like.
And then that's supposed to be, well, how do you let that happen? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
Jerry, why do you build your stadium that way? It's just ridiculous.
It is. Yeah. That one is true because the glass is only on one side of the building, and when the time change happens, the sun sets right past into the building. So if you build it,
that's our home field advantage.
Yeah, that don't make sense. Though.
And then Jay's not here today. Jay is very upset that they're not playing Trey Lance.
Is he really?
He was last week.
I saw him on the field at the end of that game.
He did come in, and then they said Sunday. Mike McCarthy said, well, we'll see about playing him this week. And then he said on Monday, yeah, it's Cooper Rush. That's an easy decision to make.
Well, here's the thing, too, though, guys. I don't want Trey Lance to get in the game under these circumstances. No running game, one wide receiver. Like, it's a bad offense.
Mm-hmm.
We aren't going to be able to judge Trey, I think, in that situation. It's almost like Bryce Young in Carolina. You know, it's like, what do you expect?
He's playing better.
He is playing a little better now. But what do you expect when you don't have any weapons for the guy?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. When we come right back, the in-season tournament is back. We'll tell you exactly why next. Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com. Get in on the action at Sky River Casino. With over 80 table games, more than 2,100 slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room, you'll enjoy a casino experience on a whole new level. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Kings back in action tomorrow night, and the Kings open Emirates Cup play Friday, Drapes, against Minnesota. Is that right?
Yeah, at home, Minnesota, Friday. Yes.
In Group A, I think. They should do something about the group names. Name them after players or something, you know?
Like old school players?
Yeah. Doesn't that sound better than Group A? They're the Group A
What
winner.
old school players? None of these people played in the tournament before. It's
Right, but in honor of, I don't know, just to give it a little
Like the
more.
Bill Russell group? Or
Yes.
the Wilt
Yes.
group? You know,
Yes.
Dave DeBuscher group? Something like
Yes.
that? Okay.
Isn't that better than Group D? They won Group
Well,
They win
they-
Group D.
They don't say it like that when they announce
Well, they
it.
should.
though, right?
They won the-
It's so nerdy. You win Group D unless the other team wins by more than 11 points, right? Because you got all the tiebreakers.
You got all
and
that.
everything.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Whitey, come on, man. Don't be
I'm being
new
realistic.
age like these young kids out there.
I'm not excited about it, but I understand it, and here's why they do it. I didn't know this. Maybe you knew this. The 2023-24 championship game last year in the in-season tournament, the Pacers and the Lakers, was the most watched non-Christmas NBA game during the regular season on any network in nearly 6 years.
There you go.
Peak viewership at 5.6 million.
There you go.
So whether you like it or not, and I'm warming up to it more and more, I guess you'd have to say it works because they're trying to generate some excitement, and they certainly got a big audience for that championship game last year, which was
exactly.
I'll never forget LeBron raising the trophy.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I know.
Was it him or Anthony Davis?
I don't know.
Kyle would know that, right?
I remember watching part of the game, and I remember turning it off in the second half.
Yeah.
But I feel like the luster has kind of worn off this year. It was exciting last year. Maybe that was just because the Kings were in it to the end, and the game against the Warriors where they bank in the game winner.
That was incredible.
Yeah,
I was literally watching that game. I was in Okinawa, and I'm in the department store watching that. That's how thrilling it was. But last year, I don't know about you, Kyle, and I know you're working for the league, and you got to get behind these things. I appreciate that. I was really excited about it, and then like Kyle says, it was so exciting. Then when it was done, when the Kings were out, I was like, this is the stupidest thing ever. But when they're in it, I was like,
right. I will say this, though. I think the league is fortunate that, it was the Lakers and Pacers. Can you imagine if it's like the Pistons and the Blazers this year or something like
there
that.
were some sleepless nights that the commissioner
Right.
had.
Yeah, exactly. You want your marquee names, your marquee talent. You got your stars, Tyrese, LeBron out there. And so I do feel like this year, though, not as much excitement surrounding it.
The part I thought was interesting also is, I know it's a small sample size, but if you look at the teams that were in the final 8 last year, it was like in the West, they ended up finishing 6th, 7th, 8th, and 10th in the Western Conference last year. In the East, it was like 1st, 3rd, 6th, and I don't remember who the other team was, but it was like the best teams didn't end up making it through. It wasn't necessarily like, oh, this is just a precursor for the NBA Finals. It was like Indiana had a deep run that no one expected.
Yeah, that's it. That's another thing I remember is that Indiana, what are they doing in this tournament?
Yeah.
It turned out, well, they're pretty good.
But the Pelicans were there too, and I know they lost by like 40 in the game in Vegas, but still, it was like, look at the Pelicans.
They got Vegas, didn't they? The Pelicans last year, they got to Vegas.
Oh, yeah, they got to Vegas.
That's what happened. They got Vegas.
Vegas and got mollywopped. Hey, I got some breaking news here. Not the stinger, though. Not the stinger. I don't want to, overplay it, but just seeing on social media, Dalton Johnson, NBC Sports Bay Area Warriors insider, Steph Curry will no longer address the crowd after Klay's tribute video tonight. Steph was going to talk to the crowd. He says Steph and Klay talked last night and decided that was the best thing for everybody. Something strange going on there, Whitey.
What do you think he means by that?
I feel like something, the relationship ain't all that.
Did you hear what Michael Thompson said today? He was on their flagship. He said they're going to greet Klay, and it's going to be hugs, and then the game's going to start, and then Draymond's going to hit him with a flagrant foul.
Really? I can see that, right? But I think it was Klay the other day, it was like, it's just one of 82, trying to downplay it a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I just wonder, and then he was asked, hey, have you talked to Steph and Draymond much? And he's like, no, we haven't talked. Like, it's something going on there, Whitey. I don't know what.
Total guess.
Oh, yeah.
Klay looks at it and goes, they have all this. They're showing all their appreciation for me. And I'm sure the fans love me. But the organization, they're doing all this. They could have kept me.
They could have kept me.
Why didn't they just keep me?
Yeah.
It's like, don't wipe your conscience off on me with all these ceremonies.
This fake stuff.
I'm going to go out there and kick your ass.
Right. Yeah, you might be right, because something seems off about it. And Klay obviously was upset at the contract that they offered him and everything. And so he's a little, there's some bad blood there.
Yeah, I know that Slates wrote about this the last year or so. Pretty bumpy there.
Yes.
Between Klay and the Warriors.
Yes.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hey, guess who's on hold? It's time for Check It with TC. What's up, TC?
Whitey, Drace, what's popping?
What's up with you, man?
I had a feeling we'd hear from you as soon as I mentioned Tom Brady criticizing Shanahan. I thought that's like sending out the bat signal for TC.
Hey, listen. Hey, Whitey, he caught himself on national TV when he was talking about when we went down there, right?
Yeah.
Before halftime, and we should have scored the touchdown when we did those 2 long runs. And then we came back and followed up with 2 straight passing plays in the red zone when he was talking about the Niners basically second in the red zone. He said part of it is execution, and then he caught himself because he was going to say the other half is coaching. But he caught himself. I said, Tom is a fool, bro. Tom know what's up. Listen, y'all know, I already told y'all about the Niners and what's going on, bro. They going down, and they going down fast, big dog. Period.
TC, you a Niners fan or no?
Man, I'm a diehard Niners fan. I've been a Niners fan all my life, Drake. But I'm a real Niner fan, and I'm going to get on these airways and keep it 100 every time I talk. I'm not going to come at you with no sugarcoating, farewell, I've been this, I've been that. I'm a ride with the Niners. I'm not none of that, bro. I'm going to be real before I do anything, bro. And this team is not it, and Kyle's not it. Period, point blank. I don't give a damn about that faithful stuff, bro. I told you that before.
TC cooking, baby. He's cooking.
What else you got?
As far as the Kings, bro, we got to listen. We got to come to a realization, y'all. We're not going to be the 130 team again. The 3-pointers, they going to fall when they fall. I like the way we playing now. That's what's going to win maybe a championship, but win a playoff round. This 100 and 110 grit and grind mid-range game, I'm all for it. I know everybody's mad about the threes, but those they're going to fall, y'all. Don't trip. The way we playing right now is sustainable. That's going to win a playoff. What we was doing being team one, that 130 and 140 a game, look at us now. That's not sustainable, bro. All the spray threes and all that, Mike, I love you, but it's not sustainable, dog. You got to adjust to the roster. And the way we playing right now fits our roster, dog. That's all I got.
Check it with TC. Check it. Man, he came in hot today.
As soon as we had that story we talked about with Tom Brady criticizing Shanahan, I started looking. Is he called yet?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1,
That's
boom.
chum in the water for TC right there. I love it. Hey, he say he a diehard fan too.
Uh-huh.
A diehard fan, and
Can you be that? Can you be both?
he's
Can
a
you really be
realist too. Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. And he has not wavered. That's the thing. How many years we've been doing this show? He has not wavered off his Shanahan tape.
I agree you can be that, because I know way back when I used to catch heat on this station when I'd say something critical about the Kings. But sometimes that's a really sincere and useful form of support, is when you're critical of something because you care about it.
You're showing you care.
Know?
Right.
You know? I think this should be better. That
Mhm.
shows you care.
Exactly. It's sometimes on the post-game show when I'm doing it, you know what I mean? And I get fired up and excited and everything. It's because I care. It's not because I'm trying to be a hater or anything like that. It's like, I want what's best for this team and organization. And I think TC feels the same for the Niners. He wants what's best. And clearly he doesn't think Shanahan is what's best. Right?
When are you going to wear a De'Aaron Fox uniform again?
I think I retired that. They got mad at me. Remember I told you they got mad at me for that? It's like, dude, it's entertainment. What are we doing? I will do it again. I will do it. You know, you can't box drapes in a box. You can't put me in a box.
That's
They
right.
just want me to let them know ahead of time. They don't want to be flipping through, turn it on, and but that's the beauty of it, right?
That's right.
That's the
Surprise!
beauty. If you're at home on your couch, you flipping and what the hell's this guy wearing? That was the whole point of it. But yeah, they're a little butthurt about that.
We've got some UC Davis basketball for you at 5:45.
We got more pressing matters, Whitey.
Yes, we do.
We got things to get to,
So
big
when
fella.
we come back,
Yes, sir.
it's Kyle Draper. Are you looking for your first victory ever?
Nah.
According to my books.
Nah.
First victory ever
This
against
dude
Kyle
be-
Ledbetter?
Hey, hold up. Ramsey is back there. Ramsey got to leave the room, right? Ramsey has to leave. Ramsey, you got to get in the hallway, big fella.
He's got to hear it because he's the judge.
Yeah, he's got to judge when you try and
yeah,
steal these
see?
wins from me.
Yeah,
I see how it
he's the
is.
judge.
I'll just have
So
to
it's-
sweep you this
Rams,
time.
you got to stick around because you got to be our judge. It's Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz for November the 12th. Next, Sackdown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Carmichael Dave with a simple question. What are you thankful for this year? So many things to consider, but one thing we can all agree on is a well-running vehicle to get you where you need to go each and every day. Jiffy Lube would like to say thank you to all their customers this November. Whether a weekend road trip to Lake Tahoe or your daily commute to work, Jiffy Lube has you covered. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1984. Visit jiffylube.com today to find a location near you, generous oil change coupons, and more. Happy Thanksgiving and holiday driving from Jiffy Lube.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills have features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty.
all made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's November does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
I kid you not. I had the grill going Sunday. And then, well, we got rain, and I think it might rain tomorrow. So, it's been beautiful, and then it's raining. Yep. Welcome to Northern California in the fall.
Yeah.
Drive guys here, get ready for Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz for November the 12th. This is incredible because Kyle Draper, you can imagine, and maybe we can imagine, the amount of sports knowledge that's in that noggin of his. And yet, in what, 37 matches? I don't know how many times.
2. I think it's been 2, if that.
How many times have you gone head to head, Kyle Ledbetter? With
Probably
Kyle
like
Draper?
what, 4 maybe?
I think it's been 6 or 7, probably.
No.
7, 8.
Yeah,
over the summer,
it's been like 3 or 4.
I was here for a week during the summer.
According to the official records, you've yet to knock him off.
No, he even said earlier he remembers I got him.
I
one
said
time, right?
no such thing.
All right.
I
see how it is.
I think you might have got me once, but
and I think we tied once.
For all intents and purposes, I'm undefeated, never lost.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. Right now it's time for Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz. And yes, everything here is based on things that happened on this date or based on things related to things that happened on this date. You're up first, Kyle Ledbetter. Your categories for today, we have 1892.
Ooh.
We have this date, what year 1, and this date, what year 2. We also have 1933, 2019, and 2010. So where would you like to start, Kyle Ledbetter? 1892, this date, what year 1 and 2, 1933, 2019, and 2010.
Let's go 2019.
2019, it's multiple choice. This date, 2019, what former Astros pitcher reveals how the Astros stole signs via TV cameras from visiting teams between 2015 and 2017? Was it Colin McHugh, Mike Fiers, or Dallas Keuchel?
I've got this one. Give me Mike Fiers.
Mike Fiers, that's correct. And he went to the A's.
Yeah, giving them the easy ones.
Yeah.
Mike Fiers has had maybe the most unique career in MLB history. He's thrown 2 no-hitters. He hit Giancarlo Stanton in the face with a baseball and had the sign-stealing scandal.
Yes. All right. Kyle Ledbetter is on the board, Drapes. That was a pretty easy one. It's just the luck of the draw.
Yep.
1892, this date, what year 1 and 2? 1933 and 2010.
2010.
2010. This date, 2010. Who becomes the 19th player in NBA history to post a 30-30 game? In the process, becoming the first player with 30 rebounds since Charles Barkley in 1996. Was it Amari Stoudemire, Kevin Love, or Dwight Howard? This date, 2010.
Kevin Love.
Kevin Love is correct. 1-1.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Drapes has got it down.
Let's go. Once he went to that one, basketball, I figured we could have a tie game.
Here we go.
Kyle Ledbetter, you're up. 1892, this date, what year 1 and 2? And 1933.
Let's go this date 1.
This date, what year 1? Now, the way this works, Kyle, I read it.
Yeah.
You get to decide whether you want him to go first or you want to go first.
How I won last time.
That's how these work. I saw. Are you okay? I saw some protestations.
That's fine, man. These rules we making up as we go along.
That's been the rule for. Okay. All right. You said 1, right?
Yes, 1.
Yeah. This date, what year? Judge Grimm rules that NFL teams can black out TV home games. This date, what year?
I'm just going to pass that on to Drapes.
This day, what year, Drapes? Judge Grimm rules that NFL teams can black out TV home games.
1987.
1987. Ledbetter?
Oh, that's a great guess. I'm going to go 1986.
It was 1953.
Really?
Oh.
Yes. 1953.
Well, all right.
I don't even
point.
remember that. Jeez. like really?
Yeah.
Buddy, you were in college back then, right?
1953.
Graduate school.
I had no idea. I feel like 80s was the
I thought
There was
controversy of it.
lots of antitrust suit, but
Yeah.
the first ruling was from,
Okay. All right.
again, Judge Grimm. Anyway, Ledbetter leading 2-1. You got to shake that off, Drapes. You're
No, that's
fine.
a tough
You're
one.
in good
Drapes,
shape.
neither
here.
of us knew that. Okay?
Yeah, that was
Yeah, you're up. 1892. This date, what
closest
year?
to.
19.
What year?
This date, what year? 2?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I'll read it. You
Yep.
can decide who goes first. This day, what year? Baseball elects and names its first commissioner, Kennesaw Mountain Landis.
Ooh, Mountain Landis.
This day, what year? Baseball's first commissioner.
He can go first.
This day, what year?
You're never going to believe this. I was just reading about Kennesaw Mountain
my
Landis
gosh,
the other day.
I quit. Were you really?
I only heard the name because I was reading a story about Pete Rose. Anyways, I'm going to go 1915.
1915. Kyle Draper. This day, what year? Baseball elects and names its first commissioner, Kennesaw Mountain Landis.
1914.
Oh, I remember 1919 Black Sox scandal. It was
Is that when they did it?
1920.
Oh, after that?
Yep.
That's tough.
That's where I saw his name because I was reading a story about Pete Rose and they mentioned he was the guy who
Kyle's
banned.
up. He's